already here. Locally grown, fresh from Florida watermelon. Fresh from Florida, there's sunshine in every bite.
Russ Rollins here. Stay ahead of the game. Get scanned in April. You've heard me talk about this, and I'm telling you, there's so many stories of listeners that have gone to Life Imaging FLA. They've had that free heart scan, found out they had heart disease, and had to go to the hospital right away and saved their lives. I know we all want to be around, next Christmas for our loved ones. We'll be around, next summer. You want to make sure you're proactive and get that scan, and it's free. They're great people at Life Imaging FLA. Take advantage of this. Don't sleep on it. Life Imaging FLA. Here's what you do. You pick up your cell phone and you dial pound 250. You just say the keywords free heart scan. They'll connect you in seconds. There's a few minimum requirements, but this is like a $699 value that is definitely worth it. I did it. I found out my heart is good. I don't have to worry about anything. I have peace of mind. That's a great way to go. Other people have gone and found out that they had to get it taken care of. So you be the next one to do it. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the words free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Please tell him that Russ Rollins and the Monster sent you.
Hey, Orlando. Brandon Kravitz here. Orlando Magic are in the playoffs. Tune in to complete Orlando Magic playoff coverage on 96.9 The Game, and you could win a trip. Our partner Guarantee Media is giving away 4 days and 3 nights in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or the Dominican Republic, including hotel and airfare for only $99. To enter, just text MAGIC to 96551. That's right, sun, beaches, and an unforgettable getaway could be waiting for you. Celebrate the way the players do. It's the perfect getaway as we get into the summer months. Immerse yourself in some of the most beautiful islands that this planet has to offer. But don't wait. Spots are limited. Text MAGIC to 96551 right now for your chance to enjoy a 4-day, 3-night stay in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or the Dominican Republic. MAGIC to 96551. Do it now and get ready for the Caribbean. And oh, by the way, go Magic.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. Mortgage rates have improved again this week. Get your quote for a refinance to lower payments or get cash out at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
ThatmortgageguyDon.com. Orlando, it's time for the next generation to bring the noise. This Sunday at 4 p.m., the Orlando Storm hosts Junior Storm Day at Inter & Co Stadium. Bring the kids for a family-friendly game day packed with football, fun, and non-stop energy. Plus, the first 5,000 fans score an exclusive inaugural season commemorative coin. Tickets start at just $16 and get a family 4-pack including food and drink for just $119. Get yours now at uflstorm.com/tickets. That's uflstorm.com/tickets. Be there when the storm strikes.
Hey, it's the News Junkie, and I don't need to be an attorney to tell you distracted driving is bad. Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt sees the aftermath every day, and it's awful. Do me a favor, eyes on the road, hands on the wheel, and keep it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, CASH. C-A-S-H. Cash. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie starts now.
It is Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. Lots to get to today, from Jimmy Kimmel fired again to new details about the White House Correspondents' dinner shooting, and the King of England wants to talk to you today. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. C-Late is here.
Good day.
And so are you. You can join us with a dispatch. Send yours over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your messages rolling right into the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday. Yeah.
Do some sharing. All right.
That's right. Let's do some sharing today. Let's make today the day when you share the show. What does that mean, Sean, you say? Well, it means you just tell somebody about the radio show, send a link to the podcast, send a link to the social media pages, follow us, or do any of that stuff just to share the show and spread the word about the News Junkie today. Go to thenewsjunkie.com for more. All right, let's start off as we always do here. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to Charles Johnson, everybody. That's right.
Who is that?
You don't even know who Charles Johnson is?
You don't even know who Charles... You barely know who Charles Johnson is.
My goodness.
Old Chuck J.
That's embarrassing. He's 104 years old. I think this guy's amazing. He is just getting into a brand new sport at 104, which is a brave move, really brave move. And what he's doing is he's an archer. He's an archer at 104 years old. Good luck trying to beat this guy.
Well, my name is Charles Johnson, and I'm 104 years old.
He sounds good for 104.
He does, doesn't he? 104, and I can understand what he's saying. His voice is still relatively strong. Pretty impressive.
From Clarksburg, West Virginia, but Phoenix now. And I think this is my fourth time here.
I like that. He's like, I think this is my fourth time here. Who's to know? I'm 104 years old.
I'm so far deep into the bow and to the arrow that I have lost count of how many times I have done it.
For those of you who are unimpressed right now, let me explain something to you. If you've never done archery in your life, you have no idea how hard it actually is with a compound bow to pull the bow back or whatever it is and then let go to fire off the arrow. I'm using all the wrong lingo here.
I'll say this. I don't think I have done enough of archery, because I think the last time I did a bow and arrow was like in Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts even. And those aren't the same, like, equipment. That's not the same device.
It's hard. You folks who are into archery will know this. This guy's 104, and he can do it.
I don't know if I'll make it 5, but I'll try. This is one of the joys of my life, of being this, It used to be golf. This took the place of golf. So, and I've met so many good friends here. I love to tell people that I'm an archer. To tell people I'm going to Vegas means a lot,
The craziest thing about this is this guy's not using anything to stand upright. He's not using a wheelchair. He doesn't have a cane, for God's sake. He's 104 and still kicking it in the archery world and bragging to his friends about him going over to Vegas.
I like,
what a time, man.
He still does that old person thing that my grandmother did every time I saw her for the last, I don't know, so many years of her life,
was like, I don't know if I'll make it to 105.
And they always do that.
We'll see you during Christmas, Grandma. If I make it that long.
Yeah. Tony says, no effing way. He's 104. He is. He looks great. Sounds great. CNJ Forge says, modern compound bows aren't that difficult to pull. I don't know if that's true. Even knowing as little as I know, I'm sure things have gotten better. But I bet still most people who are over a certain age cannot get anywhere near pulling back even a modern compound bow. But now I need you because he's challenged me over here. Archery people, is that impressive that a 104-year-old man can pull back on a compound bow in competition?
Did we actually see him, shoot?
No, he probably sucks. But it doesn't matter.
Did we see if he hits the target?
No, we didn't. We didn't see him actually shoot or anything. I don't know if he's any good. I just know he's 104. He's alive and he's kicking it, folks. So you got a long road ahead of you today. That's my message to start things off here on the show.
New stuff to look forward to,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. Well, you know what I'm not looking forward to right now? I was telling you before the show. I was telling C-Lane before the show. Two things. First, I told him, damn it, I forgot we had a meeting today. And because we had the meeting, I wasn't able to shave last minute before the show. And then C-Lane told me that people think that I'm growing like the equivalent of a hockey beard for the show. Or is it a doomsday
somebody
beard?
compared your beard to the doomsday clock in a way that like
5 o'clock shadow is 5 o'clock on the doomsday clock.
Yeah.
All right, okay. The doomsday beard. Yeah, the doomsday beard is probably what I have going on right now.
And this could be, I don't know what they were specifically alluding to because I'm not inside their heads.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be some sort of relation to this, contract thing you've got going on. And it's like if Sean is not even shaving, he's just getting the beard like he's going to be Lettermaning all of a sudden.
Yeah,
just
right.
well, I'm out of here. Why shave?
Yeah. It's not far off from the target. You know what? It's probably as close as that 104-year-old guy would get. It is fairly accurate, I would have to say. So that was one thing I mentioned to C-Lane this morning. I said I didn't get to shave, so folks on the stream, bear with me here today on YouTube and Twitch.
I'm sure some people like the beard, the stubble.
The other thing is this, and this is just brutal to me. It's like so Sean Luck. I talk to Courtney all the time about Sean Luck. I have things that happen to me, and they're so annoying. And it's not just some annoying thing that you could fix quickly. For instance, on my Genesis, there's a little panel on the side. And the panel got really hot. It's like this thin little panel by the side of my door. And the panel got really hot in the sun. And boop, it popped off of my car because it got hot and warped. I have bought 2 of those panels, replaced them myself, double-sided taped them in there, hired a professional who does body work to do the same thing. And every single time I put another one on, boop, it pops right off the side of the car. I have no idea what's going on. But it's certainly a Sean problem. There's a lot of these weird Sean problems that pop up.
Do you think geographically your car is just not in a great spot? Like there's something about the way the sun hits your driveway. It's just that panel. The whole car is getting hot, but it's just that panel that's doing it. Or have you looked up to see if Genesis has some sort of, common problem with that panel on that door?
I like to think the world is maybe against me, and that's what's coming up here because I also told you
switch parking spots with Courtney and see if her panel pops off.
I don't want 2 cars to get screwed up by whatever this phenomenon is. But I was telling you, I've got one of the new PTZ cameras. These are like the really high end 4K cameras that's coming into the studio today. It'll be delivered today, and taking the other one that's in the studio now, and another camera that we currently use, and I put it up on eBay. So, of course, let's introduce the Sean problem, right? The eBay Sean problem is for the last 48 hours, starting almost the moment I placed this very nice, very valuable camera up on eBay for an auction, eBay has been knocked down by hackers.
Ooh.
And eBay auctions have been settling for record low prices because no one can get to the auctions, but the auctions, much like mine with this expensive camera, are locked in place.
So eBay doesn't have some sort of plan in place to be like, hey, guys, while we have this hack going on, while we have this connection issue, can they not just pause the auctions or set them all not to end?
I don't know if they can or if they just aren't, and they're not willing to, but they're not right now. That's what's happening right now. eBay auctions are ending for like record good deals for people because no one
buy that
for
camera.
I'll just hand it to you.
I'm gonna VPN out of the country to somewhere that gets eBay. I'm getting me that camera.
I'll save on shipping. Good. Yeah, I'll hand it over to you.
You don't just do like a buy it now price?
No. You put it up as an auction, and now here's one of the stories. eBay has been struggling with widespread outages, disrupting transactions and API access. They began late Sunday. This is literally right after I posted the camera over on eBay. The eBay outage, which has crippled essential features of the site, has left many buyers and sellers frustrated, struggling to access critical functions, including search features, listings, and checkout processes. Many of the auctions that were up were settling for incredibly low numbers because nobody could get in there to have the competition to bid up the things that everybody was selling. It's, oh, God. On and on we go. It's just how it rolls today. So for that reason, we need you. We absolutely, positively need you. Join us today on the show with your feedback, your dispatches, and your emails. Speaking of that, let's work a couple in here before we get to the Jimmy Kimmel drama and I Can Save Her moment and a bunch of other stuff. Skylark emails the show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Skylark says, I've been wanting to write you for some time. Oh, boy. This is starting out like a Casey Kasem message here, but email side, I guess.
Skylark writes in, and it goes, Dear Sean.
Says, I've been wanting to write you for some time, and I finally have a chance, says Skylark. It was a few weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer. You mentioned that things that were talked about on the show would eventually, in a couple of weeks, become national news. Well, you were right. You were talking about a parrot and a little underwater submarine. I saw that on a local news channel, Channel 7 in Miami, Fort Lauderdale. And a few days ago, I saw the rescue sloths from Sloth World. They were being rescued by the Central Florida Zoo. Thank you very much for bringing that to the attention of those that needed to hear it. And glad that because of some part of your show, that they've been rescued and are being taken care of. I love your show, she says. I love your show, says Cindy. Cindy, I'll stop you there. Because the next sentence is, I hate seeing that it's going to be ending. I can't put that.
Don't put that out there, Cindy. The Sloth World thing, I think, has got to international news because it's something about the cuteness of a sloth. Like, the sloth has become so beloved that it was just and the fact that like there was this. It had a lot of sexy things. There was this tourist destination that was going to be, so great for the sloths. And no, just kidding. We're keeping them in warehouses with space eaters. And
people really were excited about it for a hot second when the social media advertising started. But then it just totally flipped. I mean, it just 100% flipped that fast.
I mean, I don't know. There was some things about Sloth World that were red flags to me from the start. I'm not trying to say that like, oh, I was reading the tea leaves and I knew they were going to not take care of the sloths very well. 31 of them would be dead. I had no idea about that. But the amount of AI that they use for their graphics was a little bit of a, I don't know, like if you're too cheap to pay for somebody to get you a good graphics package, how much are you spending on the sloths?
Yeah, that causes a bit of a problem for some people, and here we are. I got news on that as well today. We're loaded up on a Share This Show Tuesday, so let's kick it open when we come back. A dinner gone wrong in a story that you are not going to believe. Wait until you hear these clips. We'll also get into the attack on Scientology is continuing, and it's crazy some of the twists this is taking. Both of those are coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's when.
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. Skull Mike activated. How are you? It's a Share the Show Tuesday. Make sure you're sharing the show. Glad to see you with us, TNJ Chat, YouTube, Twitch, everybody. Hope you're okay. How we doing, right?
Sealand has a great Casey Kasem voice. Very true. He does. He has a great Casey Kasem voice. No doubt about that. Sorry about the beard, everybody. It's funny because the comments I got of the beard are, a couple of people said, actually, I like the beard. The beard looks good on Sean. And then, you look like a homeless mongrel. You need to shave your face immediately. Like, that's the vibes. That's what I was getting. Hello, Jasons. Hello, Cyclone Ranger. Hello, Scratcher. Hello, Cat Butthole. Hello, Missy. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. The Doomsday Beard. Hello, Bandit. What beard? That's stubble? Is this still stubble? Are we still... Is it still considered stubble at this point? You might be right. Sean, how were the cucumbers last night? I didn't have any. Not because they were so phallic, but just because I haven't gotten around to it just yet. Hey, Tanya. Jason, I understand. I see your homeless jokes. I understand that you, for some reason, you do not like me. I don't know why. I've never done anything to you. I understand that you want to be mean to me. Oh, facial hair? I thought he was talking about Courtney. Very, very nice. That's not what a beard is it? Isn't a beard when... Wait. Isn't a beard when a lesbian woman is dating a guy who dating a man to not let it be seen that she's a lesbian? Isn't that a beard? Sean, your beard looks nice. When's the last time you shaved? 12 minutes ago? A beard is when a gay man has a fake wife? Okay, so it is that way. Okay. I can't grow a decent beard either, bro. I think I might be able to. I just never have. Like, a little longer than this is all I've ever been in my entire life. I've never grown out much more than this, ever. I don't like it. Any other guys out there, just you don't like having hair on your face? There must be a lot of you, right? There's got to be some. Welcome in, everybody. We got a lot to get to today. Hey, R. Willie. Hey, how are you? I want to thank everybody who's been showing up over on chat.thenewsjunkie.com. It's been great to see you. People have been awesome over there. I love to see it. You got to let your beard to get a good beard? That's probably true. I don't like hair on my face. I feel like an animal. A good shave and I feel human again. I agree with you. I agree. Somebody in chat earlier, I don't know who it was, which one of you it was trying to call me a hypocrite about redistricting bullshit because some of you are strange. I don't know why. Like, I love the idea that you're projecting an opinion on me before you've heard my opinion. I don't know why there's a need to do that. But there was a comment about Florida redistricting. And my answer to you is the same answer I will give always. All of this political redistricting and rejiggering of areas to purposefully alter the vote in these particular areas like Florida and California, all of it is bad. It's done as a political weapon. And then the problem is, once one person does it or one state does it, it triggers all the other states to do it. And then we end up with this completely gerrymandered situation where every state is now just like lining up itself to be as one-sided as possible. So if you waited and asked, you would know I'm always against that, because I think it just causes more divisions and plays in to the radical fringes on politics, when I don't want that. I want the political parties talking to each other, not threatening each other all the time, not going nuclear constantly. I think all that is dumb and embarrassing, and I think it should stop. But it won't, because people like you have zero appetite for it. That's what happened. Dan, yes, Dan, yes, I would call all of them out, every one of them, because it's a bipartisan flurry of losers doing this.
Company of the Year.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, CASH. C-A-S-H. Cash. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row. It's
we go. So good to see you. So good to have you on board. If you learn more about the show, it's pretty easy to do, honestly. Go over to the website, which you can find at thenewsjunkie.com. We always have these stories. I bring them up, and I know without a doubt there's going to be people, some of you weirdos in chat in particular, who are going to say, like, I could save her. I could save this person. I don't know why there's such a desire for both men and women out there. This is like there's problems that can be spread around to both men and women for sure. But there's a propensity for us to find the worst, weirdest people around us and go, you know what? I think I could fix that person. And they did this with Casey Anthony. They did it with who was the guy who killed Lacey Peterson? Oh, I always forget his name.
Well, there was the one chick that was in love with Brian Koberger.
Yeah, her too, but not. Yeah, that's true. So, but Lacey Peterson was killed by her husband, Scott Peterson. What the hell is his name? Scott Peterson. Yeah, Scott Peterson. That makes sense. It just adds up now that I think about it. Scott Peterson is another example of when women would see him and they'd be like, "Oh my God, he's so hot. Like, I like this guy." They'd send him money and stuff in jail. This lady is making headlines today because she stabbed her boyfriend at their apartment, and the reason for it and all the stories and details behind it, so insane, so bizarre. But I know some of you, and she's not even really that attractive or anything. But just,
I'm seeing the thumbnail here, and I'm not seeing the I can fix her-ness of it.
There will be. I'm watching you, chat. There will be at least one. Show her here on the stream for YouTubers and Twitch people. Okay? There will be at least one of you who says, I can fix her. I could fix her. Here's what she did.
Can you fix her eyebrows first?
She's got a lot of problems that are beyond her eyebrows right now. Already they're saying I could fix her. See,
because you goaded them into it.
I think if I said nothing, they would still be saying this. But let's see. Here we go. Here's her story. And you tell me what you think.
When investigators arrived, they found a man flat on his back. They asked Cloth why she did it. Cloth said she did it because she wanted to go out to eat that night, and her boyfriend had come over to her apartment to cook chicken drumsticks instead.
I mean, how could he do this?
So specific.
How could he do this? She wanted to go out to eat, and this miserly boyfriend was going to instead cook chicken drumsticks at the house. I can't believe it.
Very specific cut of chicken, though.
I like how they put that in there. Like you didn't need any of those details, but they still put those in there.
Sorry, we had to run a correction. An earlier version of this story implicated that the plan was to cook chicken drumsticks when indeed the boyfriend bought chicken thighs.
This was Michaela Cloth, is her name. Michaela Kloth, Kloth, 27 years old. She attacked the dude and stabbed him because she wanted to go out to dinner and he wanted to instead make chicken drumsticks at home.
When asked if there was a struggle, Kloth told police, quote, "No, I did stab him," end quote. Kloth says her boyfriend grabbed a knife on the blade side and she got angry and she pushed the knife into his chest. The victim's father spoke in court Monday.
I love when people say stuff like that. They're like, he got angry and I pushed the knife into his chest because this was how it's like. What you're describing is just stabbing. Just say I stabbed him. Like, well, I didn't stab him. I just pushed the knife into his chest. That is a stabbing. That does make a stabbing, I think. That's what she did.
As we not name him or his 25-year-old son.
Here's the dad.
Please never let that monster walk the streets ever again.
She admits saying, I stabbed him. If you have to take me to jail, okay. She didn't hesitate with the discussion with the officers.
Yeah, she didn't. She is a pretty deranged lunatic. And there she is in Wisconsin. Michaela Kloth, this woman, charged with first-degree intentional homicide. And I guess they said, like, there wasn't any remorse, no nothing, no. Just remember this. When you think you have problems in your relationship, you probably do. But I bet they're not this bad. I bet they're not this level of bad.
And if you think they're this level, spring on the whole chicken, not just the drumsticks.
Well, I mean, it could have all been fixed, I guess, by taking her out to dinner. But, what are we going to do?
In TMJ4, the article that I'm reading, prosecutor said Kloth, who was in the apartment, told him she wanted to go out to eat that night, but the victim came to the apartment with, quote, chicken drumsticks, seasoning, end quote.
That's it.
And plan to use the air fryer for dinner.
You guys, people are crazy out there, right? I mean, like most people are normal. You and I are normal. Our neighbors are normal. People around us are all normal. But there are some crazy people out there. I see this all the time. It just rocks my world that there's so many people who are so close to killing another person. They're so close. Like if I came home and Courtney and I had talked about going out to dinner somewhere, we made plans, even if I was excited. And then if I came home and she goes, nah, instead I'm going to make a dinner. I'd be like, wow, that's really nice. I'm excited for this dinner that you're making. Imagine being so close to homicide that is what tips you over the edge.
Just kills the guy because he didn't want to eat out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in this case, maybe more than one. Yeah, I understand. We're talking about restaurants here. We got you and your dispatches and emails. They're coming in live to the show right now. We'll get some more of those. In fact, let me work in a couple real quick. Somebody talking about the red and blue button thing. And that is not a political thing, but it's kind of turned into one in some bizarre way. Let me see if I can.
Do you think if they picked different colors, we wouldn't call this political?
Yes, I think they should have, honestly. I think they should have. I don't want to screw this up, but it went something like this. This was the thing that was going viral, where they said, if you were given the opportunity, everybody has to place a vote. It's a private vote. And if everybody hits the blue button, nobody gets killed and everybody survives. But if at least one person hits the red button.
No, you're getting it wrong.
Okay. See, I knew I was going to screw it up.
Everybody gets two buttons. One is red and one is blue. And you are told ahead of time, here's how this particular exercise works. It's very Joker from the Dark Knight when they're on the boats and all that.
Okay.
If everybody votes, you have to vote. You have to push one button.
All right.
If more than 50% of the population pushes the blue button, everybody lives.
All right. So if more than 50% of everybody hits the blue button, everybody survives. Everybody survives and we're all good.
If 49.9999999% or less push the blue button, only the people who push the red button live.
Okay. Is the answer to this not? All right. And I want to throw this out there one more time. Everyone in the world has to take a private vote by pressing a red or blue button. If more than 50% of people press the blue button, everyone survives. If less than 50% of the people press the blue button, only people who press the red button survive. Which button would you press? Is the correct answer not red? Because if every person hit the red button, everyone would survive.
Yes.
Right? And there's no stipulation on that one. Just if you look at this and you say, well, then all we have to do is every single person hits the red button, and that completely dismantles the problem that we have in front of you.
Right.
Unless I'm missing something.
If 100% of people push the red button, then clearly that's less than 50% who have pushed the blue button.
Yes.
So this is faith in humanity versus like a not even an unnecessary test of your faith in humanity versus a guarantee that you will live.
Yeah, I think the red button is the answer because it's guaranteed. Every person hits the red button and you're good. You're hitting the blue button. It's like this utopian button where you think more than 50% of the people will do this because you think it's the right thing and you think everybody has like the same level of empathy as you do. I don't trust enough people like that, and you shouldn't either probably. So I think if we all hit the red button, we're all going our individual route, but we're all protecting ourselves and everybody survives.
No matter what, there is no risk in hitting the red button. Zero risk. If you hit the red button, if you are the only person who hits the red button, if there are 10,000 people in this exercise and 9,999 of them hit the blue button and you hit the red, you still survive.
Yeah, right. Wait, hold on. But if everybody presses the blue button, it's the same thing, right? Yeah, but you're, okay. So then only, oh God, it's so complicated.
However, all right, hold on. But if you flip it, flip it, right? If there are 10,000 people, and 9,999 hit the red button, and one person hits the blue button, well, now less than 50%, that person's dead. You're a goner.
Yeah, but it's that person's fault because all they had to do was hit the red button. That was the only thing.
Yes.
So if you hit the blue button, you are relying on everybody else hitting the blue button. If you hit the red button, you're protecting yourself. And if everybody protects themselves, we're all protected together. That's the answer, I think.
For the record, I've compared this to the Dark Knight, but it wasn't the exact same situation. And there was two boats, and then you turn a key and that boat blows up, or they turn a key and you blow up, and that was a whole different thing where there were consequences that were much more severe than, hey, listen, no matter what, if you hit this button, you will survive.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think that's the answer. But, I mean, everybody has their own vibes on this. Anonymous emails tips@thenewsjunkie.com and says, I'm going blue because the red might wipe out everyone I love, and they're more important to me than I am to myself.
What?
Says this anonymous person. Yeah, and that's it. This is an argument about empathy, okay? Because if you want to say, I'm going to push blue to protect the other people around me, you're putting your empathy out like a net that you're reliant on, right?
At your own peril.
Okay? Now, here's what I'm saying. If you instead said, let me gather all the people that I love, and I'm going to tell all the people that I love, hey, guys, we obviously got to hit red. We're all going to be safe if we hit red. And they tell everybody else to hit red. Everybody just hits red. Everybody protects everybody they love. And then we win. Nobody dies. The problem is that you're starting to think like I'm going to be part of some big movement instead of everybody protecting themselves in their own little like groups that are close to them. That's what makes this an interesting conversation. And that's why that works that way. Also, Sealand was talking yesterday about getting into secured private spaces and where's the place that you've been, which is the most cool, and you felt like, oh, man, I'm not supposed to be here right now.
Right.
Michelle emails tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Michelle says, my dad was a U.S. Customs SAC, or a special agent in charge for the U.S. Customs. For a while, he worked in the counterfeit department.
Ooh.
In approximately 1990, my brother and I were in high school. He showed me the closet that had all the counterfeit stuff, Gucci bags, mink fur coats, stacks of money.
So not just counterfeit money, but counterfeit everything.
Everything, yeah. So this huge office that Customs had where they pulled in all the counterfeit goods, and it was all locked in there, and Michelle's dad brought her in there to go check it out, which would be very, very cool. Thank you for the email. And one more real quick. Alicia in Jensen Beach says, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Hello from Jensen Beach, Florida, to all of you. This is my first time contacting the show. I've been listening for the last 5 or so years on the podcast. I never get into the car without listening to you guys, but I can't remember ever laughing as hard as I did with you two talking about hitting the deck yesterday. I was on US 1 and had to pull over because tears were blurring my eyes from laughing so hard. Best story in a long time about the drive-by dogging and the car backfiring, because I know I would have reacted to both exactly the same way. Thank you for a laugh on a day when I needed this, says Alicia. Boy, that was an easy laugh for you.
I know, right?
Alicia.
Also, she left out Josh. What a shame for Josh. What a poor Josh.
He was there. He had a button or two. He did his thing. It's a great guy. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got to get into the Jimmy Kimmel controversy that is really dominating a lot of the discussion today. What's it all about? I got the joke that started it. I got all the reactions. I got all that. We'll have to get to that after the Scientology thing that I teased, though, because the attack on Scientology continues. What's the latest that's happened here? It's crazy. So Wild Ride, I want you to go on it with us. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real music weekends are classic alternative.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And for our Tuesday, we are going to be expecting temperatures to steadily heat up into the mid and upper 80s for this afternoon. Plan for a high of around 87 today in Orlando, which is a couple of degrees above average. We'll also be expecting some patchy.
Hello.
This report is sponsored by...
Little factoid for you, chat. Ready? Little factoid for you. Americans spent over $109 billion on what last year? Okay? Americans spent over $109 billion on what? More than movies, books, concerts, and sports tickets combined. I'll say it again. Americans spent $109 billion on blank in the last year. More than movies, sports tickets, concerts. What else was it? Books and all that combined. Fast food? No. Food delivery? No. Good guess, though. No, the Americans spent $109 billion on this. More than concerts, movies, all of these things. More than sports betting. All of these things combined. We got somebody. Lottery tickets. Americans spent $109 billion on lottery tickets last year. More than gambling, movies, more than books, more than all of that combined. That's a crazy amount of money on lottery tickets. With the average person getting what out of it? Anything? I don't think I've ever played the lottery. Really? That is gambling? Two people say it at the same time? Yeah. It's just crazy. $109 billion more than sports gambling, more than, that's in particular sports gambling, more than they spent on movies, more than they spent on music, more than they spent on books, all combined. Is money spent on the lottery wasted? Is the question. Yes or no? Stand by, let me try something. Hang on. Experiment incoming. Here we go. Let's get the bot going. Okay, it's allegedly going. Is buying lottery tickets wasting money?
Izervay has proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay or Avastin Captain Pagel.
Okay, Is buying lottery tickets wasting money? Now, I've got the bot rolling right now. Twitch, answer yes or no, and we'll see if it registers as votes. Oh, I think it's working. All right. Vote. Yeah, it is working. Vote on chat.thenewsjunkie.com, or if you're on Twitch, you could just type yes or no, and your vote will be counted. Is buying lottery tickets wasting money? No, it can save you the rest of your life from work. It can, if you're lucky, real lucky. By the way, if you're trying to participate in polls like this on Twitch, just type yes or no. Don't put anything else with it, otherwise it won't count. Just yes or no. YouTube, don't worry, I'm going to add your ability to vote like that soon. All right, here we go.
Same day. They're offering a free consultation, but you've got to call now. 407-723-7533. That's 407-723-7533. Don't overthink it. Just call. Premier Men's Medical Center.
True Green, the easiest way to get a golf course quality lawn. Don't wait. Sign up at truegreen.com and get your first application for $9.95. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. Let the pros do the work so you can enjoy your weekend. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Welcome into the world's most viral newsroom, friends. Let's have some fun today. Boy, there's a lot of good drama to get into. We're going to do that. Learn more about the show and to share the show Tuesday by going over to the website, which is at thenewsjunkie.com. This made my jaw just absolutely drop to think about this. I ask you a question, and be honest with me, all right? Be honest. You can vote over on TNJ chat, or you can vote on Twitch right now by putting yes or no to this question. Is buying lottery tickets wasting your money? Is buying lottery tickets wasting your money is the question. Just put yes or no, and the folks over on TNJ chat just vote in the actual poll. You'll see it there on the screen. That's how you vote on TNJ chat. But the piece of information that led me to this is Americans spent, get this, over $109 billion on lottery tickets last year, which is more money than Americans spent on movies, books, concerts, and sports tickets combined.
All right.
Americans
we like that. We like that hope, you know?
That's what it is. That's what it is. It's hanging on to a thread of hope. Absolutely. Just a thread of hope. Americans spending $109 billion on lottery tickets, which is more than they spent on movies, books, concerts, and sports tickets all combined together. And a lot of people are saying things like the lottery is just a voluntary tax. I bought 3 lottery tickets last week and forgot to ever scratch them, and I have no idea where they went. Well, that's just dumb.
Yeah.
Now, that's definitely a waste of money. But generally speaking, is it a waste of money? Is buying lottery tickets wasting your money? I want to see what people think about that. Let us know with your votes or emails to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. You can also send a dispatch over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. It's an incredible number to think about, though. Absolutely.
$109 billion?
$109 billion. That's so much. It's bigger than the movie industry and sports betting.
Let's go into education, so...
Yes, allegedly. Allegedly, it's going to some sort of education. That's true. We've heard that.
I think I was waiting in line at the gas station the other day, and you said it was $109 billion last year or in the past year?
In the past year, yeah.
Yeah, and there was some figure that they had at the lottery stand that said the number that they've donated to education over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like $50 billion. But
okay.
I'm like, that's a lot of years when you divide it up.
That's a long time. Yeah,
you know,
it's a long time, especially when this is how much people are spending every single year. And somebody said
it might have been lower. It might have been lower, but I'm just being conservative here with that number because I remember thinking, I go, yeah, that seems like a good amount, but how many years is that divided over? Because now it starts thinking like, oh, no, actually, you're taking in a lot of money and only really donating some of it.
Somebody said earlier, they're like, yeah, Sean, but think about how much money I could win. Well, yeah, that's the point. I mean, that's what gets you to want to do this. And the only way you can justify this, like if you answer is buying lottery tickets wasting money with no, which is losing right now. Many more people are saying it is wasting money, judging by the story I just told you there. But if you say that, no, it's not wasting money, I think the solid logic there would be, hey, if you have a budget for it and you get a level of enjoyment out of it, like you have fun, you go home at the end of your hard working day and some people drink beer or smoke cigarettes or roll up a joint or whatever. And you sit there and scratch off a couple of scratchers and that's your vice. I think that's totally fair. Like, I think that's absolutely fair. If you say, I have my thing, you have your thing, don't be judging me. I want to dream a little bit. And it gives me a high, Sean, and I get excited. So no, buying lottery tickets is not wasting money to me. I can make sense of that. I can.
I hung out with a guy over the weekend that he said, I haven't drank in like 8 years or so. And then we start talking about upcoming sports games. And he's like, all right, let me get out the app. Let's go.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Yeah, everybody's got their own thing. I get that.
That's fine.
I think if you are solely buying lottery tickets and spending your money on lottery tickets, spending part of that $109 billion that so many people toss into that pot. If you're doing it because you think, hey, financially this is going to pay off for me, that's not the right reason. It's not the right reason to do it. If you're doing it because you're having fun, go for it. Be reasonable, put a little budget toward it. Just like if you go to the casino or you bet on sports, and if things are reasonable and you have fun and it's your way of enjoying yourself, go for it. But if you're doing it, kind of like my dad, I've told stories about my dad. He used to go to this church. It was the Church Berean Christian in West Palm Beach, Florida. And it was the school that I went to that I got kicked out of. And I'll never be the most famous person at the school because Larry the cable guy also attended. It's this brutal truth of my life. I'm not going to beat him, I don't think. But
you just need a 3-word phrase.
Get her done worked out real well for that guy. He made a lot of money. But if you take my dad's strategy, was my dad, I would go, oh, you're like really giving a lot to the church these days. And he goes, yeah, Sean, I have found the more that I give to church, the more I'll get back in other things. He's like, it's fantastic. So I've donated 10% of my earnings that week to church. And they said afterwards, I got this, and this out of it. And it was really awesome. It's like, wow, this was a great investment. And I go, how do you know you wouldn't have gotten those things if you didn't give the money to church?
What were
giving
the
you
things?
Both of the lines of income. Oh, it was like his stocks went up, right? Or whatever investments he had, or he found $20 in the Publix parking lot and at the grocery store. Whatever it was like my dad was motivated to give to the church because he said he would get things out of it. I would get things back. And that was the motivation for him. If you're motivated to spend your money on lottery tickets because you literally are hedging on the fact that you're going to win, don't do it. Do not do it because you're not going to win. The odds are you're not going to win. It's not going to happen that way. All right, over to our update on the world of Scientology. I've been keeping you up on this. It's not getting a lot of national attention yet, but I think it's going to soon, and here's why. People have begun to, on a very sophisticated and mildly hilarious level, troll the Church of Scientology. Now, this is amazing for this reason. For I don't know how many years, I have seen people, even powerful journalists, attempt to take down the Church of Scientology. They've attempted to take them down with documentaries, with in-depth reporting about nefarious things happening at the Church of Scientology. They've attempted to name all of the people, David Miscavige and all these people in the leadership at Scientology and all the celebrities like John Travolta. They've attempted to talk about how the money is wasted and how they're bullies and how they threaten people at Scientology. They've done all of these things. Precisely none of it has been as successful as the trolling of Scientology in the last 2 weeks. And
even
that is
Leah Remini kind of thing.
She has done so much. She hates the Scientology. She was one of them. She's done docuseries about it. She's tried to expose them. But way more people have interacted with the content online that's going viral, where people show up to the Church of Scientology, they open the door and they run in and they see how far they can run.
See, I don't know. When I look at those videos, I think of people just being annoying. And like, do you think their point in life, by making these videos, is to expose the Church of Scientology, or just to do a thing where we're like, hey, we're seeing how far we can run into this ridiculous place before we get escorted out?
Probably more that one. But I think that it's having more of an impact on Scientology than anybody could guess. Now, here's one of the latest videos. I'm rolling this here. I can't play the audio because I curse. The Church of Scientology has an officer outside, and they have removed the door handles from the door of this particular entrance here. They have removed the handles off of the door because people were opening the door and running into the Church of Scientology's building and they tried to see how far they could run through all the hallways and what they could discover as they go there. And it's become so annoying to the people at the Church of Scientology. They've had to put security up. They have a giant thing locking the door from the inside, and they have removed the handles to the Church of Scientology to stop this grand incursion.
So that Buddy Jesus can't run through there with his friends?
Yeah, it was yesterday. Jesus hauled ass and popped through the Scientology place with a couple of his friends. And then I've seen other ones here. Okay, this is, hang on. I also don't want to play the audio on all these because mostly young people showing up. And this is them trying to, again, they try to open the door. They try to go up in there. There's a bunch of people like locking arms. That can't be real. This can't be real. This is people showing up outside the Church of Scientology and showing people gathering by the door. But that when they show the person poking their head through the window, that's fake. That's a dummy. That's got to be a dummy right there. But some of these are legit. And here's another one. Now there's somebody who's dressed up as, I don't even know what they are, like some sort of evil creature, and they're playing freaky music on top of the HQ for Scientology in Clearwater, Florida. All right, the music is terrible. It's very, very bad.
I don't know that person actually knows how to play the cello.
I don't know what noise is coming out of the instrument that they're playing, but they are trolling Scientology as well by jumping on top of the HQ for Scientology in Clearwater, Florida, and playing their instruments in this weird way in some sort of, I don't know, form of protest or whatever. The Summit Girl says, more stupidity, the dumbing down of America still in the making. Maybe, but I think this really has caused more of a real world impact than almost anything else. Like, imagine for a second, do you think the people at the Church of Scientology are annoyed and put off by this? Because I do.
Well,
Legit.
yeah, I think any business that this is happening to would be annoyed and put off.
Yeah, definitely. I think like you have to think, is this as annoying as it is this effective in some way at actually bothering Scientology? Are there closed door meetings going on? I think so. I really do. Johnny says it's a demonic Noid that's playing the instrument. Whatever character this is. The noise is just so bad. I can't even take the noise. But that's what has been happening to the Church of Scientology. Effective or not effective? Let us know what you think about these protests that continue over there. And they're running in through the doors. They're doing all sorts of stuff to go after the Church of Scientology. Give us your thoughts on that. Real quick before the break, I wanted to share this with you because this is an unbelievable story. I will put this up on See It Now, I promise. But everybody is getting a warning right now. A man in India was trying to withdraw some money from a bank account. All right? He went to the bank, this guy in India, and he said, I'd like to withdraw $211 or the equivalent from my sister's bank account. And the bank goes, we can't do anything about this. All right? We're not able to do anything about this. And the guy goes, just please, my sister has passed away. I need you to give me the money that's left in her account. It's $211, and I need this money. He kept visiting the bank. The bank said, there's nothing we can do about this. He said, my sister died in January of 2026. And they go, nope, we're not giving you the money. He brought his dead sister to the bank. I kid you not. He legitimately, this man, brought his dead sister to the bank. I'm going to get my screenshot right now.
Who's been dead for 3 months plus
Who
now.
has been dead for 3 months. Yes, Celine. She's been dead for 3 months. He brought her to the bank. I just got a screenshot for See It Now. And he just carries her in. I don't even know what to make of this. I don't.
What does the bank make of it?
I have no idea. Just give the man the money. For God's sake, he brings the sister, the deceased sister, to the bank. Jitu Munda is the guy's name, just in case you were wondering. Jeetu Munda, Munda, 50 years old. He said he took this step out of frustration, out of repeated visits to the bank where they told him, we cannot do anything. We can't give you this money. We need proof that she's dead. And he said, prove that she's dead. She died in January. And they said, no, sir, we need proof. And he brought her body in.
Been a real son of a bitch if he walked that skeleton up there after 3 months and they went, well, we can't prove that that's her. So we're going to keep that 211 American dollars.
I went this far, for God's sake, he says. I'm putting this up right now. I want you to go take a look when you get an opportunity over on See It Now in the News Junkie app. Take a peek at that. This man brought his dead sister to the bank because they kept refusing him the money. It's over on the website in the See It Now section. Quick break. When we come back, we'll get into all this Jimmy Kimmel drama. What's going on? Is Jimmy Kimmel about to get fired again? What's happening with that? More of your feedback and emails on the way. Updates on the White House Correspondents situation and so much more. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center.
Hello, welcome behind the scenes of the show. Sam says, did he get the money? I don't know. But how crazy is that? All right, Jimmy Kimmel coming up next.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
Whether you're new to nursing or looking to advance your degree, Rasmussen University offers a range of programs to help you answer the call.
1 second.
Because when you're ready to care for others, we're ready to help you get there. Learn more at rasmussen.edu.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Facing an injury is tough, but choosing the right attorney shouldn't be.
Question for you, chat. The King of England has arrived in America, and he wants to speak to the American people. Simple question. Do you care at all that the King of England is in America and has something to say? Do you care at all that the King of England is in America and has something to say to the American people? Yes or no? Do we care about the king? Yes or no? No. Who cares? No kings, bro. Who gives an F about England? If he asked me to move back to England for 10 million pounds, I say yes. You're not going to get that. No. Nah. Who cares what he has to say? Hell no. I don't think anybody in the United States of America that I have seen has been expressing interest in this. The king makes his way to America, and I don't think America cares. I think that's the message we're sending back. Like, I don't think America cares. Let's see. Mr. Predicto Will anybody be excited for the King's visit?
Definitely not.
Yeah. See? Predicto knows. Not really, but I'll listen to him. Who gives an ass? F that king and his ugly wife? Oh, God. Harsh. F that king and his ugly wife. He's got those big sausage fingers, though, you know? The only king we want is the king of news? Rude Americans. Yeah, Americans don't like the king. Americans don't like royalty in general, I don't think. They have tried to foist Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and Prince William. They try to just shovel them on us. Americans like Princess Diana, okay? That's it. That's it. They don't care. 90 seconds and we're back. Sean, where can we submit bug reports and feature requests for Chat 2.0? Tips at thenewsjunkie.com, please. Shane, thank you. Good to see you, by the way. Kate is all right? Well, she seems nice enough, and I know she's had some real health trouble, so I don't wish her any ill will. Nor do I wish any of them any ill will. I just don't care. I don't care about the royal family. Is Trump going to talk to their people? I don't know if that would go over well. I think it would be about... The reception over there to Trump would probably be similar to how people are receiving the king in the United States of America today. All right? We're coming back in just a second here. Stand by. Coming back.
Offer from Mark Spain Real Estate makes the home selling process seamless and stress-free. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM, HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, FUN. F-U-N, FUN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Forever hovering over life's great dump button. You're listening to the new...
I gotta tell you, I don't know if I've ever seen anything, C-Lane, that has united the audience as much as this. This is one of the few things that unites the audience. I like to think we have a pretty wide spread of types of people who listen to the News Junkie. Like, there are people with
100%
different backgrounds, different political leanings. You know, I get all sorts of emails. People who agree, who disagree, people who are young, people who are old. There's people who are, 80 years old, 90 years old who listen to this show. And then there are young people who listen to this show who email me all the time. I very rarely ever see everybody kind of coming together on one thing. But I can tell you, C-Lane, without a shadow of a doubt, no one cares about the King of England. No one cares. The King of England has arrived in the United States of America to talk to the American people. And I asked everybody in chat during the break, and literally nobody cares. They've tried to foist the British royal family on Americans for so long after Princess Diana's death. People cared about Princess Diana, I think, to a certain extent, and liked her. They were into Princess Diana. They were interested in what was going on in her life. But after that, I think Americans just generally don't care about the royal family. They try to make the Meghan Markle thing in headlines all the time. They try to tell us what's going on with Harry and William and all of the people. And every single time I'm like, I don't think anybody cares. I never talk about it on the show for this exact reason. I just don't think people care.
I think the
King
people
Charles
that care
is in America to speak to us, and nobody cares.
The people that care are like people that came here from England. You know, like people that lived there at some point, grew up on that, and then maybe moved over here for work or family stuff or whatever. I've had British friends that, you know, give a little bit more, time and energy to what goes on with the royal family than the rest of us.
I mean, I wonder if that is still true to this day. Like, I feel like so many people, as somebody says, hate brings people together. Kind of, in a way, but I think much more.
No, here's the thing. I don't think they care enough. Most people care enough to hate the royal family.
Probably they just don't care. Yeah,
Right.
I think they're just completely disconnected. Like if somebody said, Sean, the king is coming, the king of England, he's coming, the king of the British Empire, and he's going to be in your neighborhood. I would go, nah, I'm good. I think I'm going to watch something on Netflix instead. I don't have any interest at all. I don't care.
I would go if it did not inconvenience me terribly. You know,
Yeah?
like I would go just to
for
see,
like what?
just
for the pomp and circumstance.
Yeah.
Oh,
Parts of it are kind of interesting, but only to a point. Like, you know, only so much.
What would you rather see? I'll throw this out to everybody. Would you be more interested in going to see the Pope or the King?
Pope.
I'd see the Pope too.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this for a dumb reason. I'd just rather see the Pope mobile. I'd rather see the Pope moving around in the Pope mobile and the what's going on with the Pope. And I think I could be interested in that more so than I would the big fat sausage finger king.
After, you know, the king came at a really weird time for us, being as there was just a recent shooting attempt. And I read an article last night where they're like, hey, this deaf person or this person who does the reading of the lips tried to tell everybody what the president of the United States, President Trump, and the King of England were like whispering to each other when he got there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they find out what they were saying? What was the drama?
Let me look up the thing because I think one of the first things they mentioned was like, so heard you almost got shot yesterday.
How was that? Yeah, you doing okay? King Charles is expected to say time and again our two countries have always found ways to come together during his address to the U.S. Congress later on
Which
Tuesday.
is wildly ironic. Wildly ironic, because isn't he here to commemorate the 250th birthday of America?
I think so, yeah. I think so, which is strangely enough, literally because of the separation between the two. Yeah, it's literally because of the diametrically opposed vibes between people who went over to America and the royal family in England so many years ago. People rejected it then. Americans have kept that hate for 250 years. We move our hate all around. The target moves all over the place. But apparently we have kept our focus on the fat-fingered king. Now, if there's anybody out there that's like, no, I'm actually interested, Sean. I would like to hear what the king has to say. And if he was in my neighborhood, I would go, I'm going to open up the email to you, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, or the dispatches. If you have something to say, let us know. Bring us in on the action. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com.
Now, this is on the New York Post, and it says this lip reader, they had the name Nicola somebody, says President Trump brought up both Saturday night shooting at the White House Correspondents' dinner and Russian President Vladimir Putin within minutes of King Charles III and Queen Camilla arriving at the White House Monday to kick off their historic state visit. And I don't have the video of this, so I can't tell if they're being serious or if they're just being like a little cheeky. But Trump said this shooting, he appeared to tell the British king after exchanging greetings. And Charles supposedly quipped in response, I'd rather not stand about here too long. I feel like I shouldn't be here. President Trump then asked if Charles was okay before saying it's not a good thing, according to this forensic lip reading expert and analyst at Lip Reader.
I like how we have forensic lip reading analysts on the news in 2026. That's something. Question, though, because I don't know if you're looking at this or you're seeing photos of them. When the king comes to Washington, D.C. in the United States of America, does he have his crown on?
He does not. No, he's wearing a suit.
Okay. So he doesn't wear like the crown and, like the scepter or whatever. He doesn't bring all that stuff along with him, which makes it less cool, honestly. If he would do that, I'd have more respect for him. But
I mean, you would think is that stuff super expensive? Like maybe you don't want to travel with it because of the potential damage or whatever could come to these very, very old British relics that they wear around. Because you'd think that it would be a welcome addition to the very gold Oval Office we've got going on right now.
True. Yeah, we got some fancy stuff in there for sure. A lot of you chiming in on this. Somebody says, are there any No Kings protests today? I don't think so. I don't, which is strange. But, yeah, I don't know that there is. All right, a couple of dispatches rolling in. We're going to get to these here just a moment away from now on the show. But I wanted to tell you, sometimes they ask the questions that I didn't even think of. But there was this shooting during the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday night, and we now know what happened to the meals that had been prepared because nobody ate their meal except for the guy who ate his salad. The guy who ate his salad was there, went viral.
Which Wolf Blitzer was raving about that salad.
Said it was that good?
I mean, the Wolf Blitzer, I guess, there was I watched Jon Stewart last night. And they were talking about how Wolf Blitzer just got on the phone and started reporting from the Correspondents' Dinner. And there was no account of the night's events from Wolf Blitzer that did not mention the delicious salad they were having. We were having a salad. It was really good. A delicious appetizer of a salad. Just on and on about that.
Here's what they said. And you're going to hear a number in this that is going to make your jaw drop at least a little bit. Ready? Gunfire abruptly halted the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday night during the salad course and before there was any actual dinner consumed, right? So they didn't eat the dinner. So they had made all of these meals and they had to find something to do with all these meals that they had made. Here's what happened to them. I'm reading this from the Newser article in front of me. Gunfire abruptly halted the White House Correspondents' Dinner before anybody actually ate their meal, which left the Washington Hilton with roughly 2,600 untouched steak and lobster dinners on its hands.
Damn.
2,600? That's insane to me. 2,600 dinners.
That's a lot of lobster.
There isn't 2,600 people there, is there? I mean, I wouldn't think they would have enough room for this in the space that they were in. They said roughly 2,600 untouched steak and lobster dinners that they had on their hands. The White House Correspondents Association president and CBS News reporter Weijia Zhang says staffers didn't let the food go to waste. The Hilton donated the 2,600 dinners that went unserved at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. They freeze-dried the steak and lobster for longer shelf life before giving them to shelters for abused women and children. Huge thank you to the staff that worked through the night under terrible circumstances. The White House Correspondents' Board will be meeting to assess what happened and determine how to proceed, they said.
They freeze-dried it or they froze them?
It says they freeze-dried the steak and lobster for longer shelf life and gave them to 2 shelters for abused women and children.
So the shelters can just add hot water to these and they'll reconstitute as a meal? Like,
is freeze-dried what they do with astronaut ice cream?
Yeah, except I don't think they actually do that for astronauts, but that's what they do when they sell astronaut ice cream. And I've seen...
She must have meant froze, right?
Maybe. I don't know. A hotel like that, I don't know that would have a need to have a freeze dryer. And even if it did have a freeze dryer, which are very expensive, it would take a long... I don't think that's an overnight ordeal. It would take a long time to freeze dry 2,600 meals. It does say
That's
here
crazy.
that the White House Correspondents' Dinner was attended by approximately 2,600 people. So
really,
there was that amount of people there, according to what I'm reading.
I did not think the room was that big, but that's I guess that checks out.
But like, think of, you probably don't watch as much food content as I do, or at least as I used to. But I've seen a couple food people on YouTube, including Babish, one time use a borrowed freeze dryer. Now, these are people that get a lot of stuff for free because they make deals with manufacturers. Babish has his own line of knives and pans and all kinds of cookware and tiny whisks and stuff.
Right.
But a freeze dryer is something that was lent to him for one video that he did, and then he had to give it back because those things that preppers buy those things.
Yeah, that probably they must have meant something else. Otherwise, they probably ruined the food. The other question is, they're saying Trump has urged that the White House Correspondents' Dinner be rescheduled within 30 days. Is anybody going to go back? You're at this event, some lunatic all hopped up on very political fuel busts in and tries to kill people there, tries to shoot up the place, becomes the 11th person to try to kill President Trump unsuccessfully. And now they go, we want to reschedule this for within 30 days. Honest question, everybody. Do you go back? Yes or no? Would you go back? If you were there, you were part of this event, there was almost this terrible thing. I mean, it was pretty terrible anyways.
You would have to think that this might be the securest Correspondents' Dinner ever.
It's like the plane that after the crash, that airline is going to be so safe you wouldn't believe it. My God.
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird to me that up until this year, I believe Trump has not attended any Correspondents' Dinner. He's like declined to be a part of it, and now that he finally went to one and then it got cut short, he's like, nope, we got to have it again.
Yeah, within 30 days.
We need a do-over.
So would you go? Would you go back? If you were at an event like that, there was an attack, and they rescheduled it, would you say, hey, we need to send a message to people like this? Like Snoop Frog says, we can't let these crazy guys run the show. Do you think that legitimately you would go back to an event like that? I don't know that I would. I'm not sure that I would. But we'll see what you think about all of this. A couple of emails coming in.
There'll be a handful of people that are going to say no. And then another big group of people who will say, well, President Trump says we should do it. We need to show a united front. Just like Snoop Frog said, we can't let the crazies win. We have to have a Correspondents' Dinner now.
I know who will. Wolf Blitzer will come back for the salad.
Yeah.
And so will that other guy. They'll come back for it for sure. All right, a couple of emails real quick. tipsofthenewsjunkie.com. Mike emails the show. He's talking about rating people who go to movies that was discussed on the show yesterday. He said, I would say if you take people who are messy and make a giant mess at the movie theater and bill them more money, I would say this is more of an Airbnb situation. You could set up the rules at the front door of the theater. Every time you break one, they fine you on your credit card. That crap behavior will stop quick. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe some of these people don't have the money to take from them. That's one of the issues. Somebody says to tipsofthenewsjunkie.com, what has happened to our movie attendance account? It is how many people attended a movie, not how much money the makers brought in. People are not dollars. Attendees only get a seat and a memory. He's talking about how we don't talk about movies in terms of how many people bought the seats. We talk about how many people, how much money total came in. And to that person, I would just tell you, I think that's how it's always been. I think it's, I can't remember a time where they said they sold this many tickets this weekend. Well, it's always been the box office take, which is money.
The number of tickets would be a more inflation-proof metric to measure that, because the tickets are getting more expensive, and how much of that is going towards the movie's bottom line.
I agree with that, but I don't think we've ever done that before. I don't think that's ever been something that we've done. I don't think we've ever counted it that way.
Real quick about the Correspondents' Dinner. Did you see the video of RFK Jr. being hauled off there?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, a couple of the agents, surrounded RFK Jr. and is helping him off this stage or off to the side or whatever, and just left Cheryl Hines in just behind. She's like chasing after them. Nobody's helping her out. And I saw a bunch of people.
Cheryl Hines, he has done a lot of things that that a lot of women would not be happy with, but she is staying with him somehow.
Yep. Even after this, it would seem. And the version of the video I saw was 100% on point. They put the Curb Your Enthusiasm music right at the end there as she was awkwardly following him while he was getting all the help, and then she was just left out to fend for herself.
I still stand by the weirdest thing ever to me is that Dana White of the UFC, his reaction that he was like, it was so exciting. It was so thrilling. I was trying to soak in every second of it. I stand just amazed that there are people who are like that. Like there was an attack. A person tried to kill people. They tried to assassinate the president. I stand amazed that there's anybody out there with a heartbeat that goes, oh my God, it was so exciting.
I'm not amazed by that. I'm not amazed. No, I'm not amazed by that in the slightest. I think Dana White should have shut his mouth. But I think that in a situation where, yes, something very scary did happen, but he got to watch the Secret Service like jump to it and like do the things they're trained for and take control of the situation. There is something a little thrilling about that.
Isn't there something a little psychopathic about that, though? Like the idea, like imagine it's anything else. All right. Imagine let me make this totally fictitious. Imagine there's some person who's about to go see a movie at the theater, and there's a shooting at the theater. Guy comes in, tries to shoot the place up, got a couple of weapons and stuff. Security comes in and busts him. And one person's reaction when they're on the news, one person's like, I was so scared. One person goes, God, it's so disheartening. It's really unbelievable that people want to engage in violence like this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then one person goes, man, that was so exciting. That was amazing. I was trying to take it all in. I was really trying to just, that seems crazy to me.
Sure. That's why I said he should have shut his mouth.
Uh-huh.
But I mean,
you're saying, would you have felt the same way?
I mean, I probably would have been scared at some point, but just like there might have been part of me if I were in the right corner of that building. And people like they compute things different ways. And Dana White, for some reason, he had that was a thrill ride for him.
But couldn't he have said it this way, Celia? Here's my point with it. Couldn't he have said to watch the Secret Service protect the president was an unbelievable thing to see with my eyes. You hope you never see it.
Yes, that's exactly how he should have put it.
Couldn't you say, while it was exciting, it's really kind of unbelievable that people are willing to harm each other for political differences? Like there was so many things, but he acted like he just got off a ride at Epic Universe.
Right.
And that was his response afterwards.
Remember the movie Independence Day?
Uh-huh.
And remember when they finally go down into Area 51 and the long-haired crazemo scientist who's just been like locked down there with the alien bodies for 20 years is like, everything has been so exciting. And Bill Pullman, who plays the president, like lashes out at him like, exciting? People are dying, blah, blah, blah. That's what it is. You just poor choice of words, buddy.
All right. Let's see what people think. Is it exciting? Is that fair? Is that a fair way to say this? Or is that a strange way to say it?
No, it's a stupid way to say it.
All right. We'll see what you think about this. Let us know. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Still got to get into the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. Bear with me. We will work it into the show today. We have Sloth World updates on the way as well. Jury duty coming up before too long. And so much more on a Share the Show Tuesday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
We laugh at the wrong times, and that's the right time. Real Radio 104.1, guaranteed human.
Keep an eye out for a crash getting cleared up on Orange Avenue at Lancaster Road. The traffic lights are acting a little bit funny where US 27 meets Scenic Highway, I-4. There's no surprises there, just typical delays piling up through the amusement.
Hello, welcome behind the scenes of the show. There you are. Don't forget, give some subs to Secret Shows. New episode on Thursday at 8 live here and available on thenewsjunkie.com. I just think that there's something that seems a little unhinged about the reaction, like, oh man, it was so exciting. All of the guns and the shooting. And very weird. Hey YouTube, hey Twitch. Have you seen this? Your name in Landsat? What is that? Hang on. Hang on, let me take a look. Click the link at chat.thenewsjunkie.com. Your name in Landsat. Type your name to see it spelled out. Oh, that's kind of cool. So they have like satellite images of Earth, and they'll find stuff that, oh, that's actually cool. So you go to this link. It's at chat.thenewsjunkie.com. You can get the link. You put your name in, and it finds satellite images that look like the letters in your name. So this is like what looks like an S in the topography, what looks like an H, and they pull together your name and Landsat. Pretty cool, actually. Try it out for yourself. Chat.thenewsjunkie.com for the link. Crazy how much stuff like that they've been building. Let me see if my new fridge is keeping this stuff cool. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I think. Yeah, it's nice and cold. Excellent. Hey, Funky Fresh. Hey, Mike. Hey, Cow Pie. There's the link in YouTube. Give it a shot. Thank you, Tanya. That looks cool, Bootsy. That bee is fancy as hell. Hey, Bird Nerd. Oh, here's the commercial. Here's the commercial that triggers everybody, but you guys know it's a good commercial. It's effective. You've been repoed 500 times. You don't pay any of your bills. Come get a Mitsubishi. It's an effective spot. You know it. You know it and I know it. Oh, by the way, I'm going to show you something. Tell me if you would try it or no, all right? Hang on. McDonald's has launched the McMullet. All right? Tell me. So stupid. Tell me if you would try it. McDonald's has just launched the McMullet. Would you try it out? It's got a cheese mullet hanging off of the burger. Going right now? The McMullet. McDonald's has launched the McMullet. Go get yourself one. What a dumb idea. Oh, we're coming back right now.
Everyone's talking about.
Just the two of them.
The real-time reactions.
Damn.
The wins.
Okay.
The losses. This isn't yesterday. This is happening right now.
Accurate news and fun shows.
And you're in the middle of it. Hit the talkback mic and jump into the conversation.
I've been leaving talkbacks every day.
iHeartRadio, where it's always happening live.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, FUN. F-U-N, fun. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row. It's the
we're living in. I got to fact check and verify some of these things that come in. We're going to check this out in just a second, and I'll tell you what's going on. I think you'll agree that this is stupid, Seeley, just for the record, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But let me bring this up.
I don't know. I could be pretty surprising.
Well, guess what, buddy? There is a new campaign underway for McDonald's that I've been assured is legitimate. It is actually real. And they have launched the McMullet.
Okay,
and the McMullet is it's a burger that they have, and the cheese hangs off the burger like a mullet hangs off the back of your hair, which is literally the dumbest idea I've ever heard of in my life. It's the stupidest thing.
But the really stupid thing is when you look at any example of expectation versus reality.
Mm-hmm.
Next to no McDonald's burgers, McMullets, whatever you want to call them, are going to look like that. It's not going to look like that. That cheese in the picture, not even cooked.
No, it's like a cheese cape, and somebody says, Bootsy just said at the same time, it's more of a cape. It's like a cheese cape hanging off the burger, and C-Lane's totally right. It's never going to be just nicely dangling off this thing.
Have they crafted a rectangular, like, extra long box to put it in so that it continues to hang out? Or are they going to wrap it in the same cheeseburger wrapper and then smash that cheese all over the hot burger and have it just melt into itself?
I never thought I'd say this, but I think McDonald's is just losing the plot. I think McDonald's is losing the plot, and Burger King's opportunity to seize the moment has arrived, because I'll tell you why in a second, but this says McDonald's New Zealand rolled out a campaign with the idea of having cheeseburgers with mullets, and they said this cheese just hanging out the back. Oh, this is their post about this. Hang on, let me see. Can I get this going? This is McDonald's posting this in New Zealand, and it's legitimate. This is like an actual thing that they're saying. Behold, it says, we're making it. Jesus Christ, the mullet lives. Why?
Does New Zealand have a different April Fools? Do they do May Fools?
It seems like there would be, but no, this is legitimate. And I'll tell you why I think this is a moment here. Hold on. Let me go over to this subreddit really quickly. r/Burger King has been convinced that there must be some sort of marketing campaign going on with Burger King, because all of a sudden their burgers look like they do on television. And they say, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how they're doing it, but you go get a Whopper and they're like the most photogenic Whoppers all of a sudden. All of a sudden the burger looks like the commercial. And people go, I don't believe it. Burger King burgers never looked like this. And then they go themselves over to Burger King and they order one and they're like, son of a bitch. All of a sudden they have turned things around at Burger King. They have revamped. Look at this. Like these burgers literally look like the commercials.
Well, that's because that's what I texted the CEO, when he was asking for suggestions.
Yeah. He was asking for the text messages to change the company.
Is that the Black Whopper?
That is the Black Whopper.
What?
Yeah, the Star Wars Galaxy Burger.
Okay,
I don't even know
Star Wars Galaxy Burger, my ass. That's a Black Whopper.
Some of these like really impressive. Like, look at that. It says obligatory Whopper Wednesday. They have a Whopper Wednesday where they post all these things. All of a sudden at Burger King, they have said they've lost the plot at McDonald's. They're putting cheese mullets on their burgers. All we have to do is make them look good again. Just all of a sudden, make them look good, put some presentation into it, and there are gorgeous looking burgers coming off the shelves over at Burger King all of a sudden. I think the game has changed. I think it has. Literally all of these. They're gorgeous looking burgers that look like the commercial, that aren't smashed into the bag, that aren't all screwed up, that aren't like, maybe the turnaround is real. If you've been or if you go today, send us a photo dispatch, all right? I want to see what your Whopper looks like. Does it look this photogenic? Yeah, maybe almost, just to see. I'm telling you, they have said that before you would get a Whopper, it would be all thrown together, it would look like a catastrophe, but you just eat it because it was good. And now it's as if they whipped them all into shape, and they have said, focus on presentation. We're bringing back Burger King, baby. It's happening right now. So let me know. Give us your experience, and if you go there today, send us a photo. And I mean, come on, McDonald's. This is your contribution. This is it. This is what you guys got going on. A mullet of cheese that's going to be all crispy and gross. And what a time, man. What a time to be alive. Send us your dispatches over at thenewsjunkie.com.
Somebody submitted a post in the McDonald's side of Reddit, which I didn't...
They're fighting back.
I guess I'm not surprised that these restaurants have their own subreddits, but I guess I just didn't ever think of that as being a place to explore. 1 month ago, somebody who has a fake sounding name says, I invented a new burger, the McMullet. And I guess it's just like a short video where he shows that he hung some cheese out the back of his burger, and he has a mullet. And I don't know if that was the impetus for this, but it's
they stole
definitely
the idea.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's a dumb idea. I don't get it. Aggravate on YouTube says Sean must have been passed over on a McDonald's endorsement. Sir or ma'am, probably sir. I had a McDonald's endorsement at one time, and I have no problem with McDonald's. I think some of their products are what you call perfection. The Chicken McNuggets are perfection. The Quarter Pounder is a gorgeous, gorgeous concoction that they've come up with and perfected over the years. They make some good stuff at McDonald's. But I will never forget when they made me interview Ronald McDonald. That will be something that sticks with me for the rest of my life. Burger King never forced me to interview the king. But when I was new on this station in particular that you're listening to now, when I was new on this station, they came in, they're like, oh, we made a deal. We didn't tell you anything about it. We promised McDonald's that we would do this thing. And I go, oh, I don't do that. And they go, look, you don't understand. You have to do this. We made a deal. We told them we would do it. Ronald McDonald is here in the house now. I remember C-Lane watching me through the window of his studio. Like he was so happy to see me squirming and pretending like I was interviewing Ronald McDonald on the radio.
In full outfit, full makeup.
Yeah. And then I couldn't do anything. I couldn't twist and turn like I always do. Like I couldn't call the person out and ask them questions out of character. Nope. Couldn't do it.
I mean, it's hard to do it when they're like busy, housing the families of cancer kids.
Yeah. Damn it. They do so. All right. I'm going to give you this, McDonald's. That's a great charity. All right. That's a great charity. My family has benefited from that charity personally. We stayed at a Ronald McDonald house when my sister was very, very sick years and years and years ago. I salute you, McDonald's. Like I said, you have really good stuff. But Burger King was so far behind, and all of a sudden they're popping off. So I do want to see it today. If you go, get a Whopper. No, don't do any work to it. Just open it up and present it to us with a photo dispatch. And I want to see if they really are upping their game on these things. Like if they really put some extra effort into this and sort of looks max the Whopper a bit. So do that for us today. Maybe we'll get at least one of these. Somebody go through the drive-thru, get one, and show us a photo of what it looks like and if it is that photogenic. Because the ones they're posting online, it's night and day from what they used to look like. They're making a comeback, baby.
See, I mean, and part of me is tempted to just hop on DoorDash or Uber Eats and have a Whopper sent here. But I just always would rather have McDonald's.
Look, it's fair. I understand it. But I
don't want a McMullet.
Yeah, I want to know at least if there's a comeback in the works here. So let us know what you think. If you see that, go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. When we come back, I'll finally get into the Jimmy Kimmel story. I'll play the audio that sparked this controversy. We got Sloth World updates after that. We got conspiracy theories galore. We've got a lot to get to on a busy Share the Show Tuesday. And that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a...
Hello, welcome to the show. Question for you, chat. Question. Burger King or McDonald's? You can only pick one. I don't eat that much fast food, but I tried the Grogu and Mandalorian chicken at BK. It looks pretty good, honestly. It's weird. It's weird on account of the green bun. It's weird. Burger King fries are trash.
This report is sponsored by Tri-County Metals.
Whoppers are a crave every once in a while. Courtney does like Whoppers. She does like a Whopper from Burger King. Don't be weird about that sentence, please. She likes a Whopper from Burger King.
At TriCountyMetals.com.
Burger King? But the Filet-O-Fish and Big Mac is awesome? The King sucks? Can I pick neither? You can. You're allowed to. You're allowed to pick neither. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. I got a magnet for a mic holder over here. It's like the strongest magnet I've ever seen in my life. It's hard to pull off of the actual console. The jalapeno cheddar bites for Burger King are fire. McDonald's and Steak and Shake fries, that's too much work.
Surgeries can be expensive, they can be uncomfortable, they can take a long time to recover from, and it's not the best fix.
Any burger tastes better than McDonald's? The one that always gets me is how much people like Five Guys, and I'm like, Five Guys is it's whatever.
And they've got plenty of other options for you. All you have to do is go see them for their free consultation, and they'll help you. They'll check you out and say, hey, this is what's going on with your body. This is what's going on in the bedroom. And when they help you get back to where you should be,
I saw the greatest complaint online yesterday. I have zero rebuttal arguments for this complaint. I'm going to deliver it to you, and you tell me if you think it's as polished as I do. This person was just trying to get a new apartment, and they are a pet owner. All right? They are a pet owner, and they were just trying to get a new apartment, and they were signing all the leasing agreements and putting everything together. And this person said, I have a 15-pound dog. It is a well-behaved dog that does not bark or cause anybody any issues at all. But in order to get my little 15-pound dog an approval to be able to go into this apartment I was looking for, they looked up all the information in the system about my dog to see if there were any previous reported attacks. They wanted my dog to come in for an in-person meeting so that they could interact and see if the dog had any violent tendencies. They said when the dog was approved, because it was a sweet little 15-pound dog, they said I then had to pay a $500 fee, non-refundable, for my dog to be in my new apartment. And this person said, my neighbor has 3 pain-in-the-ass kids. You go into an apartment with kids, no paperwork, no extra money, no nothing. You go into an apartment with a 15-pound dog, you got to fill out more paperwork than you would if you were trying to enter another country. That is kind of bullshit. That is kind of bullshit. You have to pay a security deposit to bring in your little dog or your cat. You got to pay a security deposit to bring your cat into your apartment building, but somebody can move in with 5 kids if they want to. What the hell is going on? Are we seriously comparing dogs to children? You're right. Children are more annoying and worse when you're living in an apartment situation. You're right. You're right. Kids are the future, dogs are a pet. That's great. Unless you have to live around a whole bunch of them. Would you rather live in a neighborhood where every neighbor has a dog or every neighbor has a kid? Would you rather live in a neighborhood where every single neighbor in your neighborhood has a dog or every single neighbor in your neighborhood has a kid, a little running around kid? A little 10-year-old kid. Every neighbor has a 10-year-old or every neighbor has a dog. You want to live in that dog neighborhood, right? You know what I mean? Kid neighborhood? Why? I want to live in that dog neighborhood. Not that I dislike kids. Kids are great. Families are great. But if everybody in my neighborhood has a kid that age, oof.
Paid plan. Plans start at just $29 a month. Enroll by April 30th and get $50.
This portion of the News Junkie is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with that mortgage guy, Don.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
If you're not confused, you are not paying attention. This is the News Junkie.
Started a huge fight with that. Started a huge chat fight with that. And I knew it was going to happen, C-Lane. I said, I saw somebody complaining the other day, and I don't know if I wrote down their exact way of phrasing this. Let me see if I can find this here. But I saw somebody complaining about getting a new apartment, and the person said, how in the hell do apartments charge pet fees but not children fees? And I thought to myself, I'm like, well... I mean, this is kind of a good point. If you're going to have a dog or a cat inside your apartment when you're getting a new place, you got to go through this whole process and like clear them. Sometimes you have to put dog poop on file. So if your dog poops in the neighborhood, they can track you down.
That's insane.
Via DNA. You have to pay, sometimes you have to pay extra monthly. You have to pay security deposits. You have to pay all this extra stuff. You have to pay more if you want to have a cat or a dog with you in your apartment. And you can have a kid, and there's no extra fees at the apartment. None.
Do you think the places, or how often do you think the places that require you to put a fecal sample on, on file there to check in case the dogs are pooping in the neighborhood? How often do you think they actually go through with that?
I think a lot of times it's probably a threat, would be my guess. But I think some places do it. I don't know. I haven't confirmed that. But I think some places do it. I think it's more difficult to have a pet in an apartment than it is. They're like, you got 3 kids? All right.
I was in a high rise downtown years and years ago. Not the one that you lived in, a different one. And it was a guy that had an apartment there. He had a condo there. And we had all been out at the bar, and so he invited a bunch of us over afterwards. And there were a couple people on the balcony smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
And he told them, like, hey, just, put it in a beer bottle, or put it in, he didn't have an ashtray, maybe because I don't think he smoked, but make sure you dispose of it. Don't flick it off the balcony, because they have cameras that will identify which unit flicked the cigarettes off the balcony. And I go, are they watching that closely?
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean,
I
knew it was a high-tech place. It was a place downtown. It was the place where the movie theater was. That same group of buildings right there. And I knew it was a little more high-tech than some of the others. They had your thumbprint got you in the door, and if they did your thumbprint, once you headed to the elevator, it had your favorite TV station would pop up on it.
That's too much, man.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a unneeded luxury, but they wanted to make you feel fancy for all the money that you're spilling on this place. And so it was that's one of the things, we got the cameras watching your balconies.
Sun State John says, oh my God, apartments charge more per person. I don't think that's true, is it? And if you go to an apartment, you pay the fee for the apartment and the square footage that it is. So 1 bedroom costs this much, 2 bedroom, whatever. But it doesn't cost more per person that's living in there with you, as far as I know. I could be wrong about that. I haven't gotten an apartment in quite some time. We've been living at the house for a while. But when I got my place, you would have to pay at a lot of places. You would have to pay a pet fee for sure. You'd have to check your pet in. You'd have to give them all the information. But kids, it's just like, all right, bring them all along. Nothing extra.
I always wonder, because whenever I get a hotel room, I specify how many people are going to be in the room with me, but I don't think that affects the price, right?
I don't think so. I think it's just you have one price for the actual room itself. BDMX Con says comparing dog ownership to being a parent is asinine. I think you're missing the point entirely. And somebody else says, Big Juan says children are human. You're missing the point entirely. Which one do you think is more likely to do damage to an apartment that you're going to rent out? A person with a dog or a cat, or a person with a kid? Which one of those do you think is going to do more damage to the apartment that you're renting out to these people for, let's say, a year or 2 years or 3 years or whatever? Which one of those things do you think is going to do more damage?
I mean, maybe it depends on how young the child is. Because
if it's a little kid, it's going to do more damage probably than like a cat or like a little dog is, I would guess.
Because you're thinking for cats and dogs of the like accidents happening, right?
Uh-huh.
You're thinking of, is it going to go to the bathroom on the floor, onesies and twosies? Whereas a kid is just going to be spilling a bunch of stuff. It's similar cleanup for at least the one thing, but I can see where at least a small child, the potential damage is similar.
Jackson must be a really good little kid. He must be like the sweetest little guy.
Sometimes
because kids, like SSM says, 100% kids are more destructive. Kids like grab on everything, knock things down right on the walls, move all over the place. Like kids are crazy. Yeah. I love them, but they're crazy little destructive forces. If you were going to talk about which one would potentially do more damage to an apartment if you were renting out the apartment to somebody, I would think that the kid would do more damage on average than the little dog or cat.
Yeah, but I think that it's super hard to say. I know right now that there's one part of my house that my dog does a lot of damage to, because when she wants to go out, she scratches at the door. And so there's like always like scratches down that one little part of drywall that we try to, clean up every now and then when company comes over, but it's hard.
That's pretty common, I think. Yeah.
Also, Jackson, my 2-year-old, he's got a toy excavator, and he's learning to say excavator, which is adorable. But also, when he plays with it, he just like runs it up and down the wall, and I'm like, it's just excavating the agreeable gray right off that wall. I mean, he hasn't caused like a whole bunch of damage that would be expensive, but then neither is Lexi.
But Patrick says, obviously, it depends on the dog. I'm generally speaking, right? When we're talking about this, we're saying generally speaking, what's the bigger outcome here? Is it going to be worse for a kid or an animal or a pet that you have? Dennis on YouTube comes at this from some experience and says, hold on, this chat is moving too fast now. Dennis said it's kids. Hold on, where did it go?
I work at an apartment complex.
There
it's
it is.
Definitely kids 80% of the time.
Yeah, I work at an apartment complex. It's definitely kids 80% of the time. If you have children and they're of that particular age, they're running wild, man. They're like, and not even Jackson's age yet. I would say if you have kids and they're 6, 7, 8, 9, right in there. That's why I threw the question at them, and Celine, answer this for me. All right, I think I know where you would go on this. If you had to live in a neighborhood where every one of your neighbors, or maybe even more specifically an apartment complex, but if you had to live in a neighborhood where every one of your neighbors had a dog or every one of your neighbors had a kid of that age, would you choose the dog neighborhood or would you choose the kid neighborhood?
I don't know. I feel like I live in like a mixture of both.
Given that, if you had like every single neighbor either had a dog or a kid, I think I'm going to take the dog neighborhood. Again, all of this sounds like an anti-kid screen. I love kids. I love families. I think it's all great.
Why do you hate kids, man?
I do think it's fair to point out, like, when you go into
Are you not going to come to Jackson's 3rd birthday? Because I think we've landed on a theme for this year.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I had a good time at the last one. I had a good time.
You had a good time at Oktoberfest.
I did.
And now
I'm ready for
nothing but a 3 thing.
Oh, I like it.
Mm-hmm. So get
Was that you or your wife?
It was both of us. It was kind of a combined deal.
That's good work.
I think she might have landed on it first.
I mean, I will be at nothing but a 3 thing. I will. And I don't have any problems with kids. I love them. I'm just saying it's a fair point to say you have to pay a security deposit for a dog or a cat, but people can bring like 3 8-year-olds into the neighborhood and there's nothing. It's just like, all right, fine. I feel like that does more damage to the place that's being rented out. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. Send a dispatch over to thenewsjunkie.com or email tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com. You're going to kill me today, you folks. I know I've been talking about the Kimmel thing and haven't gotten into it. Don't worry. It's next. I promise you. If it's not next, I will eat my hat live on the stream. All right?
He's going to get to Fallon before he gets to Kimmel.
If it's not next, I will eat my hat live on the stream. I promise you. It's coming up next in the News Junkie.
Celebrate the arrival of summer at the 5th Annual Sanford Riverwalk Rhythm and Brews Barbecue Fest, Saturday, May 9th. Details at realradio.fm/events.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Hello. Of all the things, that got some of you fired up. Of all of the things. Does he still play dispatches? Yes, and I will. I've got some queued up and ready to go. I got some dispatches coming up, ready to go.
Golf course quality lawn. Don't wait. Sign up at TrueGreen.com and get your first application for $9.95. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. Let the pros do the work so you can enjoy your weekend. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Ardnas. Slow, bro. I see you. Hey, how are you? Good to see everybody. Throughout the entirety of my kids' lives, we have lived in apartments with a small dog. The kids definitely did some damage. The dog only peed a time or 2. People always want to get into the nitty-gritty. They're like, well, is the dog good? Is the dog bad? What kind of dog is it? Does the dog bark? What age is the kid? Generally speaking, little kids, as great as they are, as much as we need the future, it could be more of a problem, I think. All right, we're going to get to the Jimmy Kimmel thing next. Sean, for $20,000, you really think you can eat that hat? I think I would have to shred it up really small. But haven't people... Isn't there shows where people eat like metal and all kinds of other really weird, dangerous stuff? Didn't a guy eat a plane? So I think it's possible, right? Dang, Sean, I have to take the dog neighborhood? I got a basset hound? Okay, but are basset hounds like beagles in that beagles, it doesn't matter what you do, they tend to howl? They're just howlers, man. They just tend to howl. We need to do everything in our power for Sean not to cover the Kimmel story. We need to see him eat his hat. This is what happens when the king shows up in the United States of America. I blame the king. Send titillating dispatches and tips emails to distracting. Boof the hat. Do you know what boof means? Just out of curiosity, do you know what boof means? Boof the hat? My neighbor has this dog that barks nonstop. It's some sort of Jack Russell. Jack Russells are yippy like that, but they are smart-ass little dogs. Little athletic guys. They're so cute. No boof command. What a shame. Boof the hat. Am I crazy here? Boof the hat would mean if you boof something, you put it up your ass, right? Yeah? Am I crazy here? That's what boofing is, right? Never heard that before? Yeah, that's what it means, right? Yeah. Cute dog, Funky Fresh. Okay, TNJI says boofing is a slang term for administering substances like drugs or alcohol rectally. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I can't boof the hat. How weird are you? Mr. Predicto, am I going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel this segment, or do I have to eat my hat?
Now is not the right time to tell you.
Cliffhanger. I like it. I like it. Cliffhanger. Have you mentioned the insanely stupid Ilhan Omar World War XI comment? Was that new? I thought that was just like an old clip where she said World War XI, which is stupid. Admittedly stupid to say World War XI. To not know Roman numerals. Although I wonder if a lot of young people know Roman numerals. Yeah, I saw that clip. I thought it was a bit of an older clip of the Ilhan Omar lady. I've got plenty of concerns with her. But I don't know if that clip is really anything worth investigating further. Uh-oh. Predicto over on TNJ chat disagrees. Oh, no, it's going back and forth. Yes and no. What's better to know, Roman numerals or cursive? Cursive, 100%. Right? Cursive is still used by people. Cursive would be useful. Roman numerals is used by the Super Bowl and wars and Olympics. Right? The Super Bowl, wars, and Olympics. Isn't cursive way more resourceful and useful than that as a skill? Right? Don't distract me. I got to do this Jimmy Kimmel story.
When you need your air fixed, don't call the wrong place. Frank A has helpful operators and techs that will have your AC fixed.
I do know Roman numerals. Kiss my ass. I think cursive is more important.
That will have your AC fixed in no time. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. W-I-N. WIN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Your front row seat to the most viral stories in the world. This is
I said if I don't get to the Jimmy Kimmel story, this segment, I'll eat my hat. And now they're doing everything they can to try to distract me.
What can they
that
do?
I have to eat my. Well, there's distractions everywhere, Sealand, right now. One of the distractions is they just keep throwing random questions at me and try to see if they could distract me with the question. Like somebody said, did you just see the clip that's going viral of the politician Ilhan Omar? She didn't know what World War II is. She said World War XI. And I said, yeah, I think I might be old or something, but I think I've seen that before. And the question was...
Let's pull it up.
The question was, which one is more valuable to learn in 2026, cursive or Roman numerals? And I said, that's not even close. Like, it's obvious still cursive is the important thing to know, even though her not knowing Roman numerals made her think, here's the clip, that World War XI, I guess, was the thing, the politician Ilhan Omar.
The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
Yeah, that's not the right one.
Man.
We're not there yet. It depends
World
on how
War
you count.
XI would be a dystopian thought.
At some point, you don't want to count anymore.
I do have a lot of answers on the texting service about this kids versus dogs thing.
All right, hang on real quick. But I said emphatically, you only need to know Roman numerals and Roman numerals versus cursive. For World Wars, so you don't make that dumb mistake. World Wars, Olympics, Super Bowls, and I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe WrestleMania or something. But cursive just quite obviously seems more important. So I can bat that issue out of the way quickly. That's not going to distract me enough.
I don't think either of them are that important.
What, cursive?
Yeah.
I mean, people are getting around fine without cursive in 2026. That's for sure. But I think it would be more useful to know that. Well, what are they saying on the texting service about the other question?
The animals versus dogs, the animals versus kids question.
Yeah, well, because I was talking about how this person was complaining. They said, if I want to get a new apartment, I have to file all sorts of paperwork and I have to pay a whole bunch of extra fees to have my little cat or dog in my apartment. But then my neighbor could just move in with 4 kids and there's nothing. And I said, well, that is kind of screwy.
Yeah,
but
a little
weird.
I'm hearing from a lot of landlords. And what do you think they say is worse?
Okay, I said, to me, it seems like a young child of the right destructive age, 7, 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, would be way more destructive to an apartment you're renting out. A young child would be more destructive on average than a dog would be on that same apartment that you were renting out to somebody. But what did the actual landlord say? What did they say?
There's a reason why there isn't a fee for kids and there is one for animals. They're saying dogs or cats all day.
Really?
They're saying, like, what did this one person say? Well, first of all, somebody said people are much more willing to treat their animals badly than their kids.
Yes.
I've had to clean out some apartments that had pets after the renter moved out and have seen the most vile conditions. Sure, kids can be a menace, but I've never cleaned a house with kids and found a closet full of S.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. That's true. But is that your average experience? Because let's say on one side of this decision, you have 100 apartments. All of them have the same little dog in it. And how many of those outcomes is a closet full of poop? Not that many, right? Most people are decent. Most people take care of their pets. Most people keep up after them.
I think if you've been a landlord for any number of properties, you will find that there are some renters that just suck.
Well, I mean,
unless you're renting out a very expensive, very nice property, it's sort of like your cruise argument where, discount cruises bring discount people.
I agree. I agree with past Sean. I think that's an accurate claim. We're getting out of the bottom of these things today here on the show. But yeah, I mean, I want to hear from more of you who actually do work in leasing or are landlords and stuff to say if you think that I'm right, that it would be more destructive if you were renting out your apartments. Say you have a place. Here's the best way to visualize this. You have a place with 100 apartments that you can rent out. And you can either rent them out to 100 people with little dogs and cats or 100 people with young kids. And then afterwards, you're going to look at these 100 apartments after the year lease and which one is going to be more damaged. The 100 that you rented out to people with little dogs and cats or the 100 that you rented out with people with little kids. And I want to know what the actual landlords are thinking about that. But I did not forget about the topic du jour. All right, I'm not eating my hat. It ain't going to work on me today, folks. Because Jimmy Kimmel is in the sights once more. He made a joke And the joke was about Melania Trump. And now, after the White House Correspondents dinner shooting, where somebody tried to kill Trump, it looks like.
Now, this joke aired the Thursday before the Correspondents dinner, correct?
Yes, this was before the event. And this was Jimmy Kimmel kind of pretending to do his own thing because it says All-American White House Correspondents dinner. And he's got like his podium set up.
I didn't see the whole thing, but I think the bit was, hey, for this Correspondents dinner, they've hired a mentalist instead of a comedian to roast everybody. So I am going to, with my experience in comedy and my experience, I think he's done a Correspondents dinner before, I am going to offer my services right now and roast everybody a couple days before this event actually happens.
All right, here's the joke in question. Let's see what we think about this and start judging. And now they're after Jimmy Kimmel for his job. I'll give you the background on that, too. But here's the joke.
Look how far you've come. 30 years ago, you were just some rich guy on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet out of Teterboro, but you worked hard. You stayed friends. You shared some wonderful secrets. And because of that, you were able to fly on that plane 7 more times. Dreams really do come true.
All right, and they, cut away.
That's pretty funny.
And they show a reaction of Trump in the audience. Of course, they're this is all fake. They're setting this up like he's doing a pretend thing.
Am I right? Dog the bounty hunter? That's right. We
Fake reaction.
So and of course, our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
All right, you have a glow like an expectant widow was the line. And then I guess afterwards, saying you have a glow like an expectant widow is implying that, I guess he wanted Trump to be assassinated or something. He obviously did not know this was going to happen.
Right.
It's ridiculous to think that he would have known this ahead of time. But he said, you have a glow like an expectant widow. That's what started this. Then the First Lady, Melania Trump, she posted this. Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are corrosive and deepens the political sickness within America. People like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. Remember, Kimmel's on broadcast. He's on ABC, so that is governed by the FCC. And this is the First Lady Melania Trump saying this. A coward, Kimmel hides behind ABC because he knows the network will keep running cover to protect him. Enough is enough. It is time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community? So that was what the First Lady said after Kimmel called her. He said she looked like an expectant widow. I think that was the actual joke in
Had
question.
the glow of an expectant widow.
Yeah, had the glow of an expectant widow. Then the White House responded. This was the next level of this. Let's see what the White House said. Here we go.
Much of the manifesto of the would-be assassin is indistinguishable from the words that we hear daily from so many. For example, as the First Lady of the United States pointed out this morning, just 2 days prior to the shooting, ABC's late-night host Jimmy Kimmel disgustingly called First Lady Melania Trump an expectant widow. Who in their right minds says a wife would be glowing over the potential murder of her beloved husband? And having experienced what I did with the First Lady on Saturday night, I can tell you that she was anything but that. This kind of rhetoric about the president, the First Lady, and his supporters is completely deranged, and it's unbelievable that the American people are consuming it night after night after night. As President Trump said on Saturday night at this podium, we as Americans must recommit ourselves to resolving our differences peacefully and uniting around the shared values that make our country great. The deranged lies and smears against the president, his family, his supporters have led crazy people to believe crazy things, and they are inspired to commit violence because of those words.
So in a way, I agree with some of this. I agree that people are right now, the very political people, are way too radicalized. I believe we legitimately have people who want to see the people that they disagree with dead. And that's so bad. To me, that's just so bad.
But do you think they're radicalized by the Tonight Show or by the whatever Jimmy Kimmel show is, late night or whatever?
I think they're radicalized by one of many, many voices in this sea of voices, or maybe a combination of all of the voices together. I think they are radicalized by the information warfare, as Alex Jones might put it, that is underway. I think they are. I think people are radicalized by that.
I will eat my neighbors.
But I don't think that anybody that I've seen, I don't care left, right, or wherever, I don't think anybody is turning down the temperature. So it's not that this is only coming from one side. This is absolutely, there's these ferocious politicians whipping people up and saying disgusting things and aggressive things and using language that's like got violence packed into it. But nobody is backing off of this. It's like there's not just a one-way street here. It's certainly bigger than that. And Jimmy Kimmel's line was, I mean, I don't look.
Do you think it was about assassinations?
I don't think it was about what he said.
You don't think it was about based on the fact that Trump's 80?
No, I don't. I don't know. Let me hear him explain it. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let me hear what he said. Here's Jimmy Kimmel trying to explain his joke.
Good morning, and the First Lady puts out a statement demanding you be fired from your job. We've all been there, right? You've been there, right, Guillermo?
Yeah, sure.
What a day.
Good old Guillermo. This guy. He's a wild one.
You saving up, Guillermo?
Yeah. Guillermo, the clock is ticking, buddy. You got to know what's going on around there. Look, if there's somebody expendable around the... What's the name? Is it Jimmy Kimmel Live is the name of the show?
Yeah.
If there's somebody expendable, Guillermo, it could be you.
They had to cancel the White House Correspondents' dinner in Washington on Saturday night after a man with multiple guns and knives crashed the party and may have shot a Secret Service officer. Fortunately, the guy was wearing a bulletproof vest and is okay. They're not sure exactly what happened, but they got the guy. He was charged today. No one was hurt, thank goodness. A lot of people were shaken up on a night that is supposed to be lighthearted. The White House Correspondents' Dinner, if you don't know, it used to be...
All right, so, I mean, all of this is him talking about, hey, this is bad, it shouldn't happen. I don't see him like kind of rooting it on there, but I want to see him explaining the joke a little.
So on Thursday, 3 days before the event, in order to keep that cherished tradition alive, I did my own version of the Correspondents' Dinner on my show. I put on a tuxedo. We pretended we had an audience of luminaries. We used old footage of the Trumps, of Pete Hegseth, J.D. Vance, Kid Rock, Vanilla Ice, all the members of his cabinet.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
And we made it seem like they were all together in a room. We had a little roast. Again, this was
all right, yeah.
Thursday, and there was no big reaction to it until this morning when I greeted the day facing yet another Twitter vomit storm. And... a call to fire me from our First Lady, Melania Trump, saying I should be fired because of a joke I made, again, 5 nights ago. It was a pretend roast. I said, our First Lady, Melania, is here. Look at her, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow, which obviously was a joke about their age difference and the look of joy we see on her face every time they're together. It was a very light roast joke about the fact that he's almost 80 and she's younger than I am. It was not.
I don't know if that's really where he was going to begin with. I don't know. I mean, it's impossible. Like you can't get into somebody's head and know if that was the motivation for the joke he was making.
If somebody made that joke about Joe Biden, would you assume that it was an age-related thing?
I mean, I think it's different with Trump just because so many people have tried to kill him. You know, I think that just because so many people have done the attempted assassination thing and failed, and we now have this latest one. Now, the thing that's unfair is like we're talking about this with the Monday morning quarterback side of this in effect because we know that there was a shooting, but he didn't know that there was going to be a shooting,
right.
So it clouds the way that you look at the joke itself.
Well, that's another thing. This aired on Thursday. We had the Correspondents' Dinner was what, Sunday night? Saturday night?
Saturday night.
All right. So we had all of Friday and Saturday, most of Saturday, to be outraged without there being a shooting attempt.
Then there was nothing.
And there was, zilch.
No. And just like there would have been no reaction to the White House press secretary saying shots will be fired tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then until afterwards, shots happen to be fired tonight. So the way I think about all of this is, and I'm different than maybe many of you are, I give a lot of leeway to jokes. I really don't care. I think the moment you start getting upset by jokes is the moment you kind of lost the plot a little bit. And you can say, well, Kimmel's not telling jokes anymore. He's political now. It's like that's true to a certain extent. But is that the war that you want to engage in? And sort of to C-Lane's point, too, like if we went down the list of people who radicalized this guy, or the people who he was influenced by. Do we really think that Jimmy Kimmel was in the mix there? I don't see that as being the case. Maybe I'm crazy.
I don't see the handful of people that have, showed up somewhere where they knew President Trump was going to be and tried to attack him physically, tried to assassinate him. I don't see them citing their sources as strictly Jimmy Kimmel. A lot of these people end up in like crazy discords and stuff like that.
Some streamer,
some darker corner of the internet where there's not a studio audience that's laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think to me it's like it's not that big of a deal.
I also don't think that the First Lady wrote that all on her own.
But and here's where I diverge a little bit. Like, I do think that comedians should be allowed to be offensive and edgy and even say stuff that is messed up.
Oh, I do too, because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I can't pretend. I can't clutch pearls. I like jokes like that.
I really love Anthony Jeselnik because, my gosh, does he, cross the line habitually and just say a lot of dark stuff. I can separate reality from that stuff.
But for all the people who are Trump supporters or on the right, isn't this one of the things you were kind of going against, the policing of comedy and people coming in and saying, Dave Chappelle can make this joke, but he can't make this joke, and people attacking Dave Chappelle for some of the comedy that he put forth. And I tried not to be hypocritical. I tried to be consistent about things over a wide variety of different reactions that you're judging. And for me, I'm like, why would we care about this at all? I want comedians to push buttons. I want comedians to be offensive. I want them. I don't want the policing of all of this stuff. And I think that's what this seems like. Overall, maybe I'm insane. Isn't the problem the guy who tried to shoot the president, not the late night joke?
Right.
Isn't the problem that we have an appetite for people getting murdered or harmed that we disagree with, and that people are so radicalized instead of the jokes? I think that's such a sideshow. It doesn't really matter to me. But it is absolutely hilarious to me that the guy who was the shooter on Saturday for the White House Correspondents' Dinner, they unearthed a bunch of his posts from social media, and one of his posts in particular sticks out to me. His name was Cold Force on social media, and one of the guy's posts, this is the person who attempted to kill the president at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, was a post where he showed Trump's ear, and it says, "How do you get shot with no scar?" The idea that a person that was an assassination attempt denier became a person who tried to assassinate the president is just something to take in. This guy was a conspiracy theorist about other assassination attempts on President Trump, and now he's the one who went and was pulling the trigger and trying to do it. That, to me, I don't know, that seems a more concern. But tell me where you're at on this. I think when we get into joke policing, we've kind of lost the plot a little bit. I don't think I care about that, and I don't think most people do. I think you should probably just ignore those people moving forward. But give me your thoughts on this at tips@thenewsjunkie.com or send a dispatch.
What do you think was worse, that joke or the one that actually got him pulled by Sinclair?
I think the one that got him pulled by Sinclair, I think he was being more dishonest about what was happening there. I think this joke, I can understand the joke, and I understand it, whether he's telling the truth or not is a different thing. But if he's saying it's about the age or whatever, which makes more sense since he didn't know there was going to be a shooting going on, that's really not that bad at all. Even if it was about assassination attempts. I have to think about it. If there was a comedian on stage, C-Lane, and the comedian when Biden was in office was making fun of I'll take Shane Gillis, who I think is quite funny. Shane Gillis had a joke about how Biden was the first president that you could assassinate with a punch. And it was a funny joke, and it was a part of a funny bit that Shane Gillis had. And I bet people who would be upset by these words and these jokes probably wouldn't be upset by that. So, yeah, I mean, I somebody points out being the joke police. I don't think being the joke police is a position of winning. I think that's kind of a stupid thing. I think you should just ignore that. But let us know what you feel. Send us a dispatch or an email. We'll get to those in just a moment. When we come back, I don't have to eat my hat now. I don't
Good
have to
for
eat my
you.
hat. Thank God. Jury duty is on the way. Your Sloth World update is in jury duty. I've got more updates on this and the indictment against the White House correspondent shooter at some
Eating
point.
your clock instead.
Oh, good God. All right, quick break. We're back with more. It's coming up next in the News Junkie.
Real radio. It is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Is it? But is it better? Is it worse? I mean,
the dude was better.
Really?
Was he? Yeah, because
when he hard Frenches you.
Boy, the way I'm about to say this is going to sound
go
bad.
ahead. Go ahead.
It squeezes harder and just he knows where the muscles were better.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center.
Hello. Welcome to the show. Cyclone Ranger says Team Kimmel and Colbert. I don't happen to think either one of their shows are very great, but that's just me. I think they kind of got one-shotted and Trump focused, and that became their whole thing. But I don't care about controversial jokes. Aren't these kind of the jokes funny? I think they're funny. There's very few jokes I wouldn't defend. Seth Meyers in a closer look for the win? What's a closer look? I don't even know what that is. We need to fix the mental health system and the gun problem before Jimmy Kimmel? Of course, it's obvious. To anybody, it's obvious. The bigger question here is there a responsibility for violent acts that you can tie back to violent rhetoric? Right? When you have a violent act happening, is there a responsibility that you can tie back to violent rhetoric? And let's not pretend like this doesn't happen with almost everything. Every major mass shooting, every political attack, all of these things, there's an effort afterwards to say, these guys are responsible, and the things that they said were why this happened. And before recent times, we used to blame it on video games and Marilyn Manson, and now we see the two political parties try to blame each other. I think you can make that connection. Like, I can connect a violent act with the rhetoric. I can look at this guy's manifesto and say he's bringing up the pedophile stuff. He's bringing up the Nazi stuff. He's bringing up all of the same talking points as prominent left-wing politicians would. So you can connect that dot, no doubt about it. But I don't think that's healthy or useful, or I don't think it fixes anything. I think the problem is we should all condemn violence, and we should say that settling disagreements with violence is an abhorrent thing. Whether Republican or Democrat, we all reject that. I think that would be something useful. The connection is obvious. Is it? I lost it. Sean Kimmel's response was essentially, if Melania wants to talk about poor taste or dangerous rhetoric, she should first have a serious conversation with her husband Trump about the things he said publicly over the years. I agree. I don't think anybody's turning down the rhetoric. I think all the political parties right now are engaging with their extremist fringe followers. I think all of them. And this is on. Who was it yesterday? Not Cory Booker. But somebody's like, if you think I'm toning down my rhetoric, I'm not. We need to continue the assault on the Republicans. Like, nobody's toning down the rhetoric. They don't care. They don't give a shit. It's not happening. People have lost the ability to regulate their emotions, almost like full-grown toddlers with cell phones. True! True! A sports story palate cleanser? You don't want that. How many palate cleansers did I give you before Jimmy Kimmel, for God's sake? Sloth World update and jury duty. A lot of stuff before that. Orlando Magic. Is that their theme? I saw that Ben Stiller tweeted Orlando. I thought, uh-oh. Ben Stiller, what are you doing? How do you hold people accountable for hate speech? You don't. You have things that are illegal, like inciting violence. You have things that are aggravating factors of crimes. You do your best not to spotlight radical voices that are of fringe people and broadcast them to larger audiences. And you ignore the inevitable fact that there are always going to be crazy people with crazy, terrible beliefs. Let's start ignoring the radical fringe weirdos instead of giving them all platforms. The attention economy is part of the problem. All right, here we go.
Stand by and allow any power to take over another country.
One city, a divided country, and the war that tore America apart.
There's a fire coming to this country, and it's going to burn out everything.
Search Saigon on iHeartRadio, America's #1 podcast network, and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. W-I-N. WIN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Your front row seat to the most viral stories in the world. This
And unlock secret shows. What are secret shows? Uncensored bonus shows every single week, including another one this Thursday, 8 p.m. You can watch live on thenewsjunkie.com with the secret shows feed there. And then afterwards, it's posted for you to watch at your leisure, video or audio on thenewsjunkie.com. Unlock secret shows at the website today. All right, I want some of your feedback to work into this segment. There's also a couple other things I wanted to work in before we get to jury duty. So let's see what we can make some time for right now. One thing that I thought was pretty great, we'll do a good and a bad here, was that in Texas, they recently found out, especially in Dallas, that they put through the state's first cell phone ban for public schools in Texas. And as a result of the Texas state cell phone ban for public schools, they have seen, as so many other places have, really good responses. They have seen attention for kids soaring in class. They've seen other things like library book checkouts. Library book checkouts are exploding because as the kids put away their phones in class and in school, they're looking for anything else to do without their cell phones. And they said there's been a significant increase in Dallas, Texas in particular, in library book checkouts. They started hearing from the students, oh, I'm so bored, I can't get my phone after I do my work or during lunchtime. Once they lock into these stories, they don't seem to care about their phones at all. Kids are reading books more. From the first day of school to March 31st of this year, the district reported an increase of more than 200,000 additional books checked out compared to the previous year.
Wow. I didn't know the ban was as strict as it was.
It's different in different states, I guess.
Well, for the Dallas one, Dallas ISD and all Texas public schools implemented this strict cell phone ban, requiring devices to be turned off and stored away. First of all, that's what my cell phones in high school were required to be. You were supposed to be turned off the whole time. You were only supposed to have them out or on you or on after school hours. It was supposed to be, if you participate in extracurricular activities, if you have drama, marching band, any of that stuff, you need to be able to get a hold of your parents, stuff like that.
Calling for a ride and whatnot.
Yeah. But this one says, often in locking yonder pouches. So like the same things that they do for some of the comedy shows.
Yeah.
You have to lock your cell phone up in one of those pouches when you go to school?
That's what it is. But they say the outcomes are great. The outcomes are they're more focused in class. Their grades are coming up. Teachers are reporting that the kids are paying attention for the first time in forever. It's an obvious thing. Let me ask everybody this question. I am so guilty of this. I am so unbelievably guilty of this. Conversely, so is Courtney. All right? We do this to each other all the time. If your partner is talking to you and you are listening, but you're actively typing a text message or looking at something or reading an article on your phone, you know as well as I do, you've done that before. And in the middle of them speaking, you go, oh my God, I
don't
know
what she's talking about.
I have been sitting there and Courtney's been talking. I've been like, yeah, totally.
That and sometimes for the shows that I really like, I try to put my phone or often my laptop because I'm often, at night when we're watching TV trying to get a little work done. I was doing it last night, typing, texting with you and stuff. And I try to put that away if it's something that I'm really into so I don't miss out on it, because I think my wife claims that she catches everything even though she's doing crosswords the whole time. I think she's still missing stuff. She's still missing stuff, and I'll be like, did you see that? We need to rewind so you can see that part. But like last night, we were watching Rooster, and the episode got over. By the way, Steve Carell's still alive. We were watching Rooster, and by the time the episode got done, I was like, hey, did nothing happen? Or was I just not paying attention? And she's like, I don't think much happened in that episode. I don't think we got a lot out of that. But other times where I'm like,
wait, were you both distracted and you didn't know, or?
Well, I was counting on her, who claims to have the better retention.
Maybe Steve Carell did die, but you guys were both on your phones.
Steve Carell's still alive. He's still fine. I just think it was a particularly unexciting episode. I'll watch it again to make sure.
It's just undeniable to me. You could say whatever you want, but it's undeniable to me that when you are locked in like a tractor beam to your cell phone, you are not paying much attention to anything else happening around you.
Yeah.
You just aren't. It's just so clear. So when the students get those cell phones taken away from them and they're focused on things in class, that is a absolute win, 100%.
They have to lock up or otherwise stow away cell phones, smart watches, tablets, and earbuds. No AirPods at the schools.
Really? See, they want to make sure they don't have any of this stuff. The counter argument is, I want to make sure my kids are safe. What if there's a school shooting? Once you push past that and get past the emotional side of the argument, it's undeniable that this has improved so many places. So that's a good thing. The bad thing is apparently hot air balloons just keep falling out of the sky, and that's not good. We had the one that landed in somebody's backyard the other day. This is a balloon pilot had a lucky escape after strong winds sent it crashing into the side of a casino. It was there as part of celebrations for a new hotel opening in Sacramento. The winds created an unplanned launch, is what they called it. And here I have the
balloon pilot
footage
had
here.
A lucky escape after strong winds sent it crashing into the side of a casino in Northern California. It was there as part of celebrations for the opening of a new
It crashed right into the building.
Local police said the winds created an unplanned launch, and the pilot was eventually able to get enough height to clear buildings and land safely, but only after hitting a power line.
Oh, God, even hit a power line in the thing.
That basket looks a lot bigger than the last weird hot air balloon situation we saw ourselves being a part of.
I think you're right. Yeah. This one looks like it has more room in it, but the guy was by himself. He had it down there as part of some promotional thing, and it went spinning out of control. He crashed into the building. He hit a power line, and then he was able to get the hot air balloon down safely, thank God, after that. So there's that. All right, quick break. When we come back, as promised, Jury Duty is coming up next with your update on Orlando's Sloth World. Some new info sneaking out. What's happening? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Lowe's.
NBA governors will vote next month to expand the draft lottery to 18 teams with new odds to win the first overall pick. They're hoping it'll stop tanking. The Magic have the East top seed.
Welcome behind the scenes. ScoMic activated. We'll be back on the show in just a moment. The new PTZ camera, just like this but black, that's going to be put over here, heading towards this area, is arriving today. And then our friend Austin will be hopefully installing it on Friday up here-ish for a straight shot right there at the couch, and then obviously anything else sweeping in the room. So this camera will cover, you know, anything over here, and that you'll get most of the room with that. Those secret show subs have been very, very helpful. Grim says, so far the show is a 4. Wow. Wow. Brutal and rude. I'll tell you who's a 4. I think you're a 4. I think you're a 4, pal. I think you're a 4. Pan, tilt, zoom, yeah. That beard is a 4. Now that's true. That's accurate. This is only an accident. This is not a decision. Couple minutes and we're back live. Just saying. I'm just saying now would be a perfect time for you to just... Eight out of 10 beards? Hey, quick question. I was watching, I don't know if it was Monday, I think it might have been Sunday. I was watching Sunday, and there was a whole different football league on TV, and it had an Orlando team, and the broadcast was kind of interesting and cool, but it wasn't arena football, and it wasn't NFL, and it wasn't college, and it was some Orlando team. It was really strange. I'd never seen it before. I don't know what that was. Some other league that's not arena football, not inside football. Was it the Storm, Orlando Storm? What's that? What league is that? Because that's what will let me know. It's the Farm League for the NFL? Is that what it is? It was pretty good quality. Like the broadcast, it was pretty good quality. No, not lingerie football league. The UFL, is that it? Yeah, that might be the UFL. Like it was, the broadcast had coaches and stuff that were mic'd up, and the graphics and all the stuff looked pretty polished, and the product was pretty good, I thought. United Football League? I don't know if anybody watches that. My husband and son were there, loved the experience. Yeah, I don't know if it's popular or not, but it, like, just in terms of the product on television, it was not some hacky thing. It was pretty well put together. 90 seconds. The games are fun. I got season tickets if you want to go. You got to take me with you? It's a separate league. They play in the Orlando City Stadium. Yeah, I thought, like, to me it seemed way more I don't want to shit on stuff, but the Predators always seemed like low quality to me. The Predators in arena football seemed like tiddlywinks stuff. Amateur hour, sure, yeah. You could say that. And XFL was like cheesy, but this seemed like, seemed like a pretty cool product. Here we go, coming back.
November 15th through the 19th.
We'll be playing, our friends will be playing.
Catch performances from Sublime, Yellow Wolf, Co-Defendants.
Food and drinks, comedy, and of course live music. All on board a badass cruise ship. To win, just listen to this station on the iHeartRadio app.
Tap the contest tab and enter to win.
Learn more at SublimeCruise.com.
Winner must be 21 or older. Prize provided by Six Man LTD.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
When good things go bad, bad things make headlines. This is the...
Appreciate that. You can learn more about this show and visit the website to get the podcast and everything else you might want to check out over at thenewsjunkie.com. For those of you asking about the contract stuff, I'm not telling you anything because there's no changes. There's literally no changes. The suits at iHeart had asked if I would meet at some point in May, I think, is the latest. And then they wanted me to meet like at HQ and like do an in-person meeting over there, which I may or may not do. I don't know. Yeah, may or may not do in May. I have no idea. As of right now, I'm not really positive on it, if you can't tell. I'm willing to hear out what the suits say and what they have to offer. And also it's a giant pain in the ass. Like, one of my things is that, I could do the show from wherever I want, and I don't need you guys bothering me. It's like literally one of the deals I have with the suits that I've had on previous contracts. I'm like, hey, I get to do the show from wherever I want, and I'll make sure that the quality of the show stays where it needs to stay. I don't need you to go like, hey, we need this person here, we need this. No one cares. It's 2026. No one cares where the people are. No one cares where the people are who are doing these podcasts or shows or whatever. Like, I can't imagine one person would ever listen into Smartlist, the Smartlist podcast, and go, well, these people aren't even in the same location together. No one cares. Who cares?
They're not?
They're not. Yeah, I tell you, just zooming together.
Wow.
Snoop says Sirius XM buying iHeart. Well, I don't know if I should ask them about that. Wouldn't that be a little awkward if I bring that up? If I go, so should Sirius XM have a seat at the table? What should we do? I don't know if that's going to go over too well. Not that much of it really has been. But yeah, there's no updates on that for people who have been asking. Only that in May at some point, I forgot what the date was, that they want to meet and talk about this, and we'll see. We'll see if that happens. It would require me to maybe miss a show, which I know is always, it's always like another thing. I don't want to miss a show to have a meeting with people. I've never wanted to do that. Hey, let's miss a show so people don't get a live show. And then what's the thing that's happening? The thing that's happening is you're going to sit down with a bunch of suits and they're going to tell you about the show. Like, I don't care all that much. One of my things is, other than maybe 2 or 3 of the people who are higher up in this company, I don't really care what anybody thinks about content. You know what I mean? I don't need them telling me about content and what is good and what is bad. At some point, you know whether your gut is right or not, and you go with your gut. That's where I've always been out on this. Like, I don't need them to go, well, I think what you should do is head in this direction. The Suits have never tried to do that. There was one person who tried to do that a couple of times. They're not necessarily around anymore. And that's all that's been relegated to. I haven't had people like trying to direct the content of the show very much. Although it's hilarious because so many of your emails will be like, the reason why Sean doesn't talk about this is because they tell him not to. He got the talking points from the company. They tell him what. God, if you only knew. Like 100%. There's no chit chat about what you can and can't talk about, other than the stuff that I tell you on air. I legitimately had one of the Suits call me and go, "Hey, love the show. Very, very big fan of the show. Watch every day. But can you stop saying this word so much? We are worried about
that. Was a particular
of
segment. I think if I had to be honest, bit of a misrepresentation of how much we said that word at the time.
I think maybe the day that the person was complaining, we had said that particular bad word many, many times.
Well, there was a person that we were talking about who was worthy of that many times.
Yeah, the person was being a total asshole. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. But there was some limits.
He was the best. What did he call himself? The best effing charter boat captain in the country.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that guy?
He's out there charter boating still, just screaming at random people.
300 days on the water. He's probably pretty busy.
So yeah, that's
acting
the only
like
thing
a pirate.
They've not talked about those kind of things that much. They've not talked about the actual content of the show. They've been pretty easygoing about that. Well, and that's only because the show has been successful over the years. So they've been willing to go hands off. If you're not, then they're going to dive in and they're going to get their hands dirty and try to fix everything you have, whether it's broken or not.
Brock Horner. What happened to that guy?
That was the guy, the charter boat captain.
Yeah.
Somebody says, was it the N-word? Yeah, it was the N-word. I used it a lot that day.
That was a year ago.
Yeah. That was it, really?
That was a year ago this week.
Honestly, it feels longer than that.
Florida charter boat captain faces additional charges from FWC after viral video, and that was posted April 26th of last year.
Yeah. The only thing that they do try to do, especially if your radio show, just so you guys know, if the Suits get a hold of you, if your radio show has low ratings, they go to some very basic stuff. So what they would do is they'd go, all right, who's on the show and what are your roles? And so you'd put Sean and C-Lane, and then they'd go, okay, now who is C-Lane? Is he the sports fan guy, or is he the chef guy? And I go, we don't have to fight. This isn't like what's the Gordon Ramsay home cooking competition?
Oh, I was just thinking of like they treat us like a boy band. They're like, yes, this guy will be the bad boy, and this guy will be the sports guy.
Yes, better example. They'll treat you like a boy band, and they'll say, which role do these people play? What is your role with this? And I go like, we're human beings. We have different elements to our personalities, and people like them all coming together. So, yeah, normally they shut up about those things.
In the satirical, I guess, movie Together, remember from MTV?
Yeah, I remember that.
The members were the heartthrob, the shy one, the cute one, the older brother, and the bad boy.
Son of a bitch. Am I the older brother?
You're not the cute one.
You don't have to be specific about it, but probably, yeah. All right, we're going to get into jury duty and the Sloth World update. Might as well do that right now. I'll do it very quickly. Here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, pick up the phone. Call the attorney that's going to put you on the path to what you deserve. The win that you deserve is on the way. The big check you deserve, if your case warrants it, is on the way. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or justcallmo.com. Bad news about the Sloth World front. Things get even worse. The only good news that I'll start out with is The sloths under the care of the Central Florida Zoo in Sanford right now seem to be doing pretty well. They have some health issues, but they're pulling through, and they're getting really good care from the experts at the Central Florida Zoo in Sanford. So that is good. That's going well. The bad news is they found even more sloths that died that they had not reported before. And now over 50 sloths in total are reported to have died at this Sloth World facility before they started to get heat, before they started to get a reaction, and before they closed up shop and said they're filing for bankruptcy. So it was even worse than people anticipated. Over 50 sloths connected to Sloth World, are said to have died throughout the opening process. And they kept bringing more and more of them in, even as they were dying off. And it was clear that things were not going well.
You got to make up for the ones you lost.
That's what they were doing, right? They were doing this in an effort to just open up. They needed to get the money coming in. But I don't think they were doing a great job at getting those animals acclimated, because so many of them, 50 plus now, it seems, died, according to these reports.
There's a bunch of people that prepaid for those tickets, and they want refunds now, and I'm thinking maybe...
Do they get them?
I have no clue.
It seems pretty bad. Dan's saying, okay, we need criminal charges for these losers. It's at least something that they should look into. Now, they're continuing to say, like, it wasn't our fault. It was just some
virus,
some invisible virus that just so happens to not come up on any kind of testing we do. I don't know. I believe that so much. Tell us what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. In fact, I haven't done any dispatches. Are coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's some congestion starting to form heading through the city on I-4 westbound before that Colonial Drive exit. Look out for an accident off to the shoulder.
Hello, welcome behind the scenes of the show. Megyn Kelly's take on the Jimmy Kimmel story. Megyn Kelly says ABC fired Chris Harrison after 20 years for saying a bachelorette who attended an antebellum party years ago should be judged by standards at the time, not those of today. They ruined him. This is about their self-professed standards of decency, not ours. Spare me your lecture, says Megyn Kelly. She's saying people are not held to the same standards. And I guess that's, in her mind, justification for Jimmy Kimmel to be fired. How about the idea that Jimmy Kimmel shouldn't be fired because he said an offensive joke to somebody, and also Chris Harrison never should have been fired? Doesn't that seem like the right side? Because Chris Harrison never should have been fired. Megyn Kelly is a nut job? You spelled her name wrong. She got that Y. The rare Y. I mean, the firing of the Bachelorette guy during that whole thing was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. Power Hour is on. Welcome to the final hour of the show. R.I.P. Jimmy Kimmel Show. Breaking news. The U.S. Department of Justice has indicted former FBI Director James Comey for a second time. Specific charges not immediately clear. Doesn't doesn't say really what's going on other than James Comey has been indicted again by the DOJ. This is crazy, man. On the conspiracy theory front, a post was done, or a poll was done by the Manhattan Institute, and they said 46% of Democrats believe the assassination attempt against Donald Trump in July of 2024 was orchestrated by his supporters to increase sympathy for him. 46% of Democrats. Almost half of them think that it was a staged assassination attempt in 2024. Is that what I said? Was it 2024? In July of 2024. That's a crazy number. Conspiracy theories have probably never been as popular as they are now. I think that's true. You think that conspiracy theories have ever been as popular and prominent as they are now? I don't think so. I think this is the peak for conspiracy theory belief right now. Easier to spread? Yeah, that's true. I wonder what sample size? It's a big sample of people. 4,000. Well, hold on, no. Wait. This doesn't say. Oh, here it is right here. Come on! 2,593 respondents who are Democrats. So that's a decent amount. 47% describe themselves as moderates. 37 progressive liberals. 11% of them describes themselves as the woke, fringe, democratic socialists, or communists. So probably a good makeup of what makes up the Democratic Party. A lot of denying it are actually more of these attempts failed. Denial is the first stage of grief. I don't disagree that there are many people who would want it to have been successful. Absolutely, positively. 1 minute. That's a long morning period. From July 2024, yeah. That's what it says. All right, we're coming back.
Neighbor's house.
I'm calling Frank Gay. When you need electrical work, you need a qualified electrician who doesn't take shortcuts and will fix the problem right the first time. That's the Frank Gay way.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
At Crush Yard, pickleball is just the beginning. You'll find a full restaurant and bar, arcade games, and plenty of space to hang out with friends. What starts as a few games often turns into food, drinks, and losing track of time. Play a match, grab a bite, catch up, or stay a while. Whether you're competitive, casual, or just along for the fun, there's something here for everyone. Learn more at crushYard.com.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Coming to to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Media. 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 Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. And don't forget to answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Tackling sensitive subjects with unparalleled irreverence.
It's never been like this before. I'll explain in just a second here on the show. And we thank you for joining us along. The Power Hour is on. That's right. The Power Hour is on here on the show. We're glad to have you with us. You can learn more over at thenewsjunkie.com. It's never been this bad, I don't think, with conspiracy theories. Conspiracies used to be like among the most fringe of fringe people. And they'd be like, oh, this person's a conspiracy theorist, a tinfoil hat personality. And it would be like a thing that you would mock somebody for.
Now it's almost cool.
Now it's just everywhere. I've talked before about how one of the first things that popped up was the 9/11 conspiracy theorist. And I made a mistake of taking these people seriously because at that age I was like, well, everybody must be being honest and I should take them seriously. And let me figure out the arguments and then maybe I can tell people like, hey, you have a conspiracy about 9/11. Here's why that conspiracy doesn't make any sense. Let me combat all the talking points that you have and speak to you reasonably and logically and talk you out of this and see if I can make you disbelieve in the conspiracy. No, they're invested in the conspiracy. They want the conspiracy to be a thing. The conspiracy is part of their personality. And that only became more and more common as social media platforms became bigger and bigger over the years. And now, oh my God, it's everywhere. Everywhere. I saw this just a moment ago, and it said, in our last Manhattan Institute survey, this is a poll that was done not that long ago, they found that 46% of Democrats believe that the assassination attempt against Donald Trump in 2024 was orchestrated by his supporters to increase sympathy for him. So that's of people who identify themselves as Democrats. And they believe that the 2024 attack on Trump was orchestrated by his supporters. There's so many more than this. This one I think is a little looser, and you can put conspiracy around it, but I don't think it's as conspiracy. The COVID-19 leaked from a laboratory in China theory. That's more than 50% of people who believe in that. I think that one might be more likely to be true, too. NASA faked the moon landing is about 16% saying definitely true that they faked it or probably true that they faked it. So 16% of people believing that. Childhood vaccines causing autism, 13% of people believing that conspiracy.
Oh, really? I thought that would be a lot more.
I did too, actually. The Holocaust of Jews in Nazi Germany was greatly exaggerated or did not happen as historians describe. About 12% of people believe that conspiracy is probably true or definitely true, that the Holocaust is exaggerated. And C-Lane counts himself amongst the people who believe in that. Yeah.
Please, Sean. It's like that old joke they say. 6 million really, really, really old Jews walk into a bar and say, hey, we got lost. Hope nobody came up with any crazy ideas about where we've been.
People believe at least one conspiracy, I think, nowadays.
I can't believe that the numbers for the Holocaust being fake and the numbers for vaccines causing autism are so close.
They are, yeah. Vaccines causing autism as a conspiracy is 13%. And the Holocaust being fake is 12%.
I feel like I see way more people raging against vaccines, and maybe this childhood vaccines causing autism is too specific for this, but I see way more people drawing that line than I ever see. I hardly ever see anybody actually like believing, saying with conviction that the Holocaust is fake. I don't even barely hear anybody joke about it.
But isn't the problem there that most people who might believe that aren't going to post it on social media? That's one where they'd go, I'm not going to put this here. I think there's a weird bias that comes into play here where we go, man, I see so many people doing this and it's still mega fringe. But we'll see people doing it, but it's just like, it's a very, very fringe thing that people are loud about. Like Barbecue Baby says, the loud minority. The loud minority in these cases, unless it's not an opinion that you can express loudly, like the Holocaust being exaggerated. They said childhood vaccines is 13%. NASA faking the Apollo 11 landing is 16% that believe that conspiracy. 9/11 attacks being an inside job is 28% who believe that conspiracy. The October 7th attack on Israel was an inside job or false flag operation carried out or permitted by the Israeli government. You'll see a lot of these have Jews in them. That is 24% of respondents believe that October 7th was an inside job or false flag that Israel did on themselves. 24% of people believe that. And then, like I said, 46% of people believe that the assassination attempt against Donald Trump in July 2024 was orchestrated by his supporters to increase sympathy for him. That's crazy. And then the top one, the most believed one, is Russian President Vladimir Putin has compromising information on Donald Trump and uses it to sway Trump's policy positions. That's 64% of people in this poll. 64% believe in that conspiracy. So I think it's never been this bad. I think the time from when an incident happens to the conspiracy about the incident is shorter than it's ever been. I saw after the shooting on Saturday, conspiracies that the whole thing was fake. I saw it like so fast. Maybe within 24 hours, there was people with conspiracies already, right? And
there was a lot of good lead-ins to that being a conspiracy. You know, like Carolyn Levitt saying shots would be fired.
Yes, yeah.
Which, I mean...
that's what started the 9/11 was an inside job stuff.
If that was the case, would you say shots would be fired?
No, of course you wouldn't. And of course it's ridiculous. And of course, the much more obvious thing is there are people being hyped up and fed all this information. Of course, the outcome is going to be that some of those people try to kill the person who they get obsessed with. That's just the more obvious conclusion there. But people are really these days thirsty for conspiracies. And maybe you're in that group. Let us know. Send a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. Somebody sent a photo dispatch. They went and got a Whopper, and they sent the photo dispatch in to see if they actually were more photogenic these days. It's a pretty good-looking Whopper. I don't know if it's as good as some of the ones I saw on the subreddit, but it's not bad.
Yeah, that one is on the lesser that we've seen today, but it's not a bad-looking sandwich.
Yeah, it's not as ugly as so many of the ones that you used to see before they try to make a turnaround, I think, over at Burger King have been. It's more impressive than I thought.
I want to see if they're actually doing this McMullet thing in New Zealand. I want to see one from the restaurant. I don't want to see one in the ad. I don't want to see one that they want to show us. I want to see somebody going to, do they call it Macca's in New Zealand, or is that just Australia?
I think that's Australia, but they share a lot in common, so It could be the both of them.
Somebody going to one of those things, getting this McMullet thing, if it even exists.
Mm-hmm.
There's my conspiracy, and seeing what it looks like out of the wrapper or out of the box, because I don't think it's going to look as accurate as it would.
It's the dumbest idea.
I mean, I think either way, it's going to look stupid.
It's so stupid. The idea of a burger that started all this with a mullet of cheese is this where we're at? Let's go over to a couple of dispatches. Here's Eric joining us on the show.
Good afternoon, News Junkies.
Hey.
Listen, in regards to your children versus pets comparison with the apartment rentals. You got to include old people too. I did at one point own several houses in a retirement community, and I was forced to rent out to older people, and I could tell you that they bump into things, they bang things around, they put color-coded stickers on the receptacles and the wall switches, and they are not the best people to have as well. So
old people tenants?
Yeah, you can include them in the categories.
Interesting. Eric, I would have thought that old people were overall generally decent tenants because they're not partying, but maybe they're still causing the same issues. That's what he says.
I mean, stickers on the wall receptacles seems a little less damaging than some of the things that a pet or a kid can do, but the banging into stuff, definitely.
Yeah. Here's Daddy 2 times with a dispatch.
What's happening, friends?
Hey.
So this kids versus dogs things, I get it. It's funny, but in general, it's already built into your deposit, right? Because when you're making a deposit as a renter, you're taking into account that there may be damages to the home caused by you, your friends, your family, your kids.
That's true.
The pet thing is something set aside separately for them to get an additional amount of money out of you for the urination, defecation, tearing up of rugs and what have you that dogs may do. Sure, the kids can do that, but you know what? So do adults, so do children, so do teenagers, set things on fire, put holes in walls, all that fun stuff that drunk adults also do for that matter. Anyhow, I get the point, but kind of is already existing with those security deposits and that sort of thing.
That's true. That's a fair point. Like, you have to pay a security deposit, so that may just be for all of the humans that occupy the apartment. The original claim being that if I'm moving into an apartment, I have to pay a security fee for a pet, but people can move in with 3 kids and they don't have to pay anything extra for them. He's right. It's just like a blanket fee that you pay in so many of these situations. All right, a couple of emails very quickly. Here is Katie. Katie says, hi, Sean and C-Lane. After your show about Burger King and McDonald's a few weeks ago, I went to Burger King because the drive-through lane was shorter. The burger was okay. The fries were not only not hot, but they were cold as hell. And it was expensive. Really? I didn't know they were more expensive over there or expensive in general. In my opinion, in my hood, I have Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, and Arby's within walking distance. For the money, I'll go back to full sit-down restaurants with full bars. True. It will probably cost me more as I'll order 1 or 2 adult beverages, but the food quality will be better. And if anything sucks, I can have it fixed, says Katie. Thank you for the email, Katie. And Cubby fan emails. So I learned a long time ago that the lottery was a waste of money. As a kid, my brother and I wanted a Nintendo so bad, and my parents kept saying how we could not afford one. We begged like crazy, but no such luck. So my brother and I took it upon ourselves to gather up all the useless lottery tickets left laying around the house. We brought them to my parents in a stack of over 250 and told them, here's our Nintendo. I may have gotten a spanking that day, but I got a Nintendo for Christmas that year. Hey, it worked. That's all that counts. Last one for now, tips at thenewsjunkie.com. And Ethan says, good afternoon, junkies. I find it laughable that the White House seems to be connecting Jimmy Kimmel with the assassination plot last Saturday night. The assassin left his home in Los Angeles last Tuesday before this aired, with the sole purpose of assassinating the president. Saying this joke had no influence on the would-be assassin since he was already planning to commit the crime would be accurate. Also, it's hilarious that the White House continuously says that Jimmy Kimmel has extremely low ratings, but he somehow has the platform to influence a nation. Which is it? Keep up the good work. I looked at his ratings earlier on. Let me see if I have them still. Jimmy Kimmel with this whole thing going on. He says the joke was misconstrued, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, here we go. In September of 2025, his return from a suspension drew in 6 million viewers, his highest rating in over a decade. Following that, there was a sharp decrease. Current standing, as of late March 2026, Jimmy Kimmel is in a tight race for the 11:35 p.m. slot, with some reports noting it's poised for higher ratings when Colbert leaves. He's at 2.17 million viewers and in third place, trailing Gutfeld and Colbert. So it's Gutfeld, Colbert, and then it's Jimmy Kimmel in the ratings. But that could change at some point in time.
I think his argument was like, it's weird to go on and on about how crappy the ratings are and then go, you have a platform that is encouraging people to shoot the president. Like, well, you just said that nobody listens to him. How can both be true?
I don't disagree. I think I think pointing fingers at everybody right now is so dumb because all of these people who are pointing fingers are involved in this. All of these people that are involved in politics are involved in the radicalization of the language around it and everything else that's bad. All these very political people are nasty, terrible influences on society in general in the United States of America. And none of them are turning down the temperature. None of them, all right? That goes from the White House to Washington, D.C., to all these losers online. None of them are turning the heat down. And that does suck and is stupid. But there was one more question that I had about this situation on Saturday that I want to get into when we come back. We'll hit on that for sure. And then maybe more importantly, a grab bag segment coming up next. I got clips galore in the extras department. We'll see what we have for you. That leads things off. In fact, one story that I think is going to fire you guys up, and that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
AI has data, we have bad ideas that somehow work. Real Radio 104.1, guaranteed human.
There's a crash getting cleared up on 1792 southbound between Lee Road and Fairbanks Avenue. I believe the right lane's getting affected there. A crash on Orange Avenue at Lancaster Road. I-4, your typical delays are starting to slow you down. There's congestion through the city and delays between that amusement park area, Dr. Phillips, and Lake Buena Vista. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Florida Prepaid College Program. As the largest, most successful prepaid program in the nation, Florida Prepaid is helping.
Hello, welcome behind the scenes of the show. Stand by.
You have two choices. Chris Farley's brother played the older brother in the fictional boy band, or the fictitious pop group were formed to parody the boy band phenomenon, actually outsold NSYNC for several weeks.
Okay, I'll do that.
Around, next Christmas for our loved ones, would be around, next summer. You want to make sure you're proactive and get that scan, and it's free. They're great people at Life Imaging FLA. Take advantage of this. Don't sleep on it. Life Imaging FLA. Here's what you do.
C-Lane has insisted we end on a terrible song today, folks. Terrible.
This is like a $699 value that is definitely worth it. I did it. I found out my part is good. I don't have to worry about anything. I have peace of mind.
All right, I got something for you.
Other people have gone and found out that they had to get it taken care of.
I thought this was crazy.
Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the words free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Please tell them that Russ Rollins and the Monster sent you. Hey Orlando, Brandon Kravitz here in the Orlando.
So, it's just been announced. Hang on. Wait. I just bookmarked this. Where is it?
Perfect getaway as we get into the summer months. Immerse yourself in some of the most beautiful islands that this planet has to offer. But don't wait. Spots are limited. Text MAGIC to 96551 right now for your chance to enjoy a 4-day, 3-night stay in Puerto Rico, Jamaica, or the Dominican.
We're back in just a couple of minutes, but real quick. It was just announced that at Disney World, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is quite obviously going to be going on Halloween and the week of Halloween. In fact, the Disney World Halloween Party is going on throughout the entirety of October and the entirety of September. The Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party starts earlier than ever this year on August 7th. August 7th is the first day for the Halloween party as the battle to expand Halloween beyond October continues its success. October, September, all the way back to August 7th. That's still summer. We're still in summer. August 7th. We are starting Halloween time. How early is that? August 7th to October 31st. How many days? 85 days of Halloween. 85 days of Halloween. What do we think? Halloween in August, is it too early, everybody? Is Halloween in August too early? Spring break just ended, yeah. I mean, August 7th is wild. I'm going to start celebrating Thanksgiving in July. Greedy corporations? Man, because they know immediately after Halloween ends, and that like first little day or two of November, they know immediately after that they can change everything to winter holidays / Christmas. And if they can bring it all the way up to August, in the first week of August, now they're going to have August, September, October, November, December, almost half the year with special bonus events where they're double dipping. Crazy. Disney can celebrate whatever they want, whenever they want. Makes no difference to this man. I blame moms for all of this. Strange that Halloween is getting a longer time than Christmas. Yeah, that's what's happening. I mean, Christmas, you know, people complained about how early the Christmas radio station started and stuff. Nothing on Halloween now. All right, here we go.
You guys.
This is where culture comes alive.
I listen everywhere on the app.
Download the iHeartRadio app today.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Media. 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 Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm. And don't forget to answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
A safe haven of sorts for all of the 95%ers. This is...
Hey, thanks for being with us. Thanks for hanging out. Learn more about the show and get anything. If you've missed just a segment or 2 segments or 7 segments, get them all. Get the full show over at thenewsjunkie.com. Subscribe to the podcast for free now. I wanted to bring this up because I have like a grab bag segment here for everybody. But one of the things I wanted to talk about in this is the fact that they have announced at one of the theme parks their Halloween season. And it's just getting more and more crazy. The Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which Jackson will probably be attending at some point soon.
Possibly, yeah.
He's getting older. He's getting close to the age for that kind of thing. It used to be that you would do this, obviously, the week of Halloween. You would do a Halloween event the week of Halloween. And then some people wanted to stretch it a bit longer. And then you would do like all of October. And then they started to pull back even further. And it's like, hey, we're going to do a couple of weeks in September. Now, they announced this year, it's starting earlier than it ever has before, and the Disney Halloween event is starting on August 7th. It is starting almost at the beginning of August. Their Halloween festivities have now been stretched all the way through 3 full months of the year. All right? 3 full months. And then you could bet your ass the moment they wrap that up, they're getting into winter/Christmas mode.
Well, yeah, that's why you can't go past Halloween. Like that's one of the problems with trying to milk more out of Halloween is because any other thing, like for Mardi Gras, you can go before and after. You could pad in either direction.
Mm-hmm.
But after Halloween, you have only, I mean, it's November 1st, man. You got to start doing Christmas stuff. I mean, November 1st is like the day at my house where Ashley just tosses all of our Halloween stuff or, puts it away if it's stuff that's, would last more, over the years.
Yeah, she's killing me with that, by the way.
But
she's killing me because the moment she puts stuff up, Courtney's like, she's putting stuff up.
She wants a skeleton. Oh.
She's like, are we allowed to put stuff up over here? And I'm like, everybody's so early now.
But, I mean, you can't pad it any further later because you have to start the Christmas festivities.
No.
And you need to get the most
like
out of that.
You got like a wall on one side, so they can only go the other way, right?
And so there are places that take Christmas and keep it later just to be, I don't know if they're making any more money out of it, but it's definitely more festive. Like we went for a friend's birthday in St. Augustine. My friend's birthday is in January, and we went up to celebrate her birthday in St. Augustine, Florida. Beautiful place. Fun times around there. Mm-hmm. And they keep their Christmas decorations up for the entire month of January. And it was like, oh, this is actually kind of fun that they still have that here. I mean, they're not selling tickets to it. It's not like your Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween or your Halloween Horror Nights, but it is a little fun. But the problem with Halloween is that the only place you can go is earlier.
Yeah, but are you going to feel like it's Halloween on August 7th?
No.
August 7th. We're still in summer, I think, technically. And they've fired up the Halloween van.
That's 3 weeks before Halloween Horror Nights starts. That's actually,
is it?
Yeah. Halloween Horror Nights begins on August 28th, 2026. And I don't even know if that's the earliest they've done or if they've done August 28th for a while.
You know who I blame? There's only one person to blame. There's only one type of person to blame. The people who are buying tickets to this. The only reason they keep spreading these holidays out further and further and further and further is because you're buying tickets to it. They're selling out every night. And here's a little secret. When they do this Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which was like a kids' Halloween event that now goes from August 7th to October 31st.
Do they give out candy at that?
Yes. Yeah, they do. They have like the big candy manufacturers giving out all kinds of fun candy, and it's a great thing for kids. Kids love this stuff, and kids aren't going to complain that Halloween is stretched out back to August 7th. But they also double dip, as far as I know. Now, I could be wrong about this. I'm not the Disney adult many of you think I am. But I think when they're doing Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Courtney would know 100%. I think that they sell tickets for the daytime for the theme park, and then they boot everybody else out, and they bring people in for the Halloween party at night. So they're basically able to sell...
Same thing that they do for Universal.
Yes, yeah, and they're double dipping. Like they're selling 2 tickets for one day because they're getting people to come to this after-hours event that they're calling, the Halloween party. So obviously... they want to ratchet that up and they want to spread that out even further than they do. You're saying, yeah, it's a separate ticketed event. Bootsy says, yeah. I mean, that I get their motivation for doing it. But at some point, like, Halloween is 3 months long now. It's ridiculous. It's pretty crazy that they've stretched it out that far. I'm sure more people will like the distractions than anything else. But tell us what you think, because they continue to take our holidays and just drag the last 2 out as far as they can, or they drag right past Thanksgiving sometimes. They tend to forget that one.
It's only a couple days in August, though. Like, they start on the 7th, but there's just a handful as compared to doing it. What is Universal does? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nights a week. Mm-hmm. They just take off Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yeah, they're making so much money on this, though. Somebody says, oh, sure, it's for the kids. Money bag. Yeah, this is for everybody. Let's be real. It's for everybody because everybody wants a distraction right now.
I kind of wonder, like, if their answer is to start earlier, why not just why are we starting earlier when we're not doing every night of the month during the month? Does that make sense?
I don't know. I mean, there must be some reason, but they're stretching it back every single time, so they'll go further than this.
October has 31 days. Why are you, why do you see the need to move further earlier into August when you're not using all 31 days of October?
Because that's the days they've allotted for that event, I think. There might be some reason why they can't schedule it for those other days. I don't know why, but there must be some sort of reason for that. If you know, let us know. But they've stretched Halloween out now for 3 months. 3 months. All right, here's the other thing I have in the grab bag segment for you here today in the power hour of the show. I was talking yesterday about movie theater tickets now being up for the most desired movie in the best theaters and the best seats. It's now upwards from Regal movie theaters. It's upwards of $50 per ticket, which is crazy. And with that in mind, I've seen some of the other stuff going on. And this is at Regal, actually. And they showed their new 4D theater. Have you ever seen what they do in this thing?
I've been to, I don't even know if it was a Regal. I went to 4DX or something when I saw Ready Player One, where they did like they sprayed water at you sometimes, or you get smells. I think our seats moved around a little bit. I don't remember.
Did they do this? Let me show you here, and we'll describe it for everybody. Here's the 4DX theater at Regal. Chat, tell me if you would want to go see a movie in this atmosphere here. Ready? Here it is.
Spider-Man.
The chairs go every which way.
I think that's what they did for us.
Is this normal?
For 40X, I believe it is.
For the whole movie? It's like riding a movie.
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
Okay.
Even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart.
I've never seen this before. The level at which these things were moving and jostling was like, it's like you're on a plane that's crashing. It's like terrible turbulence in the movie theater that you're facing.
I was wrong. The movie theater that I saw Ready Player One in, where we went to the 40X, it was at Point Orlando, and it is a Regal movie theater, so it's the same brand. It's the 40X thing.
Yeah.
And they moved around like that, and they had all the various effects. But if you get motion sickness or something,
I would with this,
as you might imagine you could in this situation, you can turn off the motion part of it. I mean, hell, you would need to turn it off just to get up out of your seat to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, of course, because they work in clusters. So there's like 3 or 4 seats attached to each other and 3 or 4 seats, and they literally move around more aggressive than most
those swinging
rides
chains
at a theme park.
Would annoy the hell out of me. I know they're coated with plastic or rubber, so they're not making noise, but just them being there would kind of be distracting for me.
They have to have safety features because these seats at the 4DX move around so much. I did not know that there was this much movement in the seats in these theaters.
I'm surprised they don't have seatbelts.
Yeah, I am too, actually, because they literally could throw you out of them. I'll put this up on See It Now because they were showing off some of their newer technology and just how much the theaters can end up moving around. I would rather just a regular ass movie, if I'm honest. I don't need whatever the hell this is. That's not for me. But go take a look for yourself. It says the world's largest 4DX cinema. That's from the Regal Times Square in New York City. And it moves around like something you ain't never seen before in your life if you haven't been on one of these, because I have not. Take a look at it. Tell me if that's for you. Regal 4DX Theater. I'll say largest Regal 4DX Theater. Okay, there we go. I got this up. Go take a look at it and tell me if you would pay more for that. I would pay more for that not to happen personally, but maybe some of you are going to go a different direction. Let me know what you think. Send us a dispatch, and when we come back, we'll do this. We'll play the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut, and, of course, today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
What kind of snack would you have while you're looking at amputee porn, Jimmy? Is that a fiddle-faddle moment? Cheez-Its?
Pretzel nubs?
Jack with the win.
The Jim Colbert Show, weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And for our Tuesday, we are going to be expecting temperatures to steadily heat up into the mid and upper 80s for this afternoon. Plan for a high of around 87 today in Orlando, which is a couple of degrees above average. We'll also be expecting some patchy fog that will gradually give way to a partly cloudy sky this afternoon. We'll stay mostly dry for this afternoon before higher chances of rain arrive as we head to Thursday. Temperatures heating up this week, though, into the low 90s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Tri-County Metals. When it comes to metal roofing, professionals trust Tri-County Metals. Now, get rewarded with a factory direct rebate up to $500. Learn more and register at TriCountyMetals.com.
Folks, I'm going to keep this simple. There are companies that are doing things the right way, like Mills Air, and there are companies that are like the other trucks you see out there on the roads that are taking advantage of people like you. Why? Well, they think sometimes that they are only going to get one bite at the apple. They're only going to get one shot to take some money out of your wallet or your bank account. And because of that, they just try to charge you everything they possibly can, some of these AC companies, and they rip you off. But Mills Air thinks that they want to build an audience of people like you who care about doing business the right way. And they want to do right by you and be fair. And so if that's what you appreciate in a company, give your business to Mills Air. When you have a problem with your AC, go to the Carrier Factory Authorized Dealer. That can save you big and give you huge rebates toward a brand new Carrier unit. Go to the honest place. Go to the family-owned and operated place. Go to Mills Air. When your AC breaks, call Mills Air to fix it. 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Orlando, it's time for the next generation to bring the noise. This Sunday at 4 p.m., the Orlando Storm hosts Junior Storm Day at Enter & Co Stadium. Bring the kids for a family-friendly game day packed with football, fun, and non-stop energy. Plus, the first 5,000 fans score an exclusive inaugural season commemorative coin. Tickets start at just $16 and get a family 4-pack including food and drink for just $119. Get yours now at uflstorm.com/tickets. That's uflstorm.com/tickets. Be there when the storm strikes.
Do you have information about a violent crime? Help solve crimes with your anonymous tips at crimeline.org. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your tips make a difference. Say it here. It's anonymous at crimeline.org. Paid by CSTF.
Skip the spring cleaning and sell your home hassle-free with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Trust the top.
All right, folks. It's time to go. Thank you. It's been fun. It's been good. We got a big show for you tomorrow. Some surprises along the way on the journey. Thank you for being with us. You can always go over to TNJ Chat to hang out with the cool people over there. Jump in, listen to the podcast there by hitting !podcast. Get yourself some points in TNJ Chat just for listening to the podcast, which you're doing anyways. !podcast, no spaces. Thank you so much. Rate the show. 10 out of 10 is a winner. 1 out of 10 is a loser. Funky Fresh says 7 out of 10, 4D seats. Honestly, I have zero interest in being in a seat like that during a movie. Ugh. Not for me. Cannot do it. 9 World Wars out of 11. There you go. You choke when the seats go crazy? Whose idea was this in a board meeting? I don't think it's for you or I. 10 crappy shows out of 10? All right, I'll take it. 9.4 shows without the plane song out of 10? X out of X? 20 out of 10? 9 additional dead sloths out of 10? Oh. Sad but true. It is so sad but true. PTZ is here. The new camera. New camera's here. Nine out of 10 unshaven Sean's. Fair. All right. I got to open this puppy and get this potentially set up this week, possibly. Hopefully it's the right one. It should be just like the 4K PTZ, except for a black version. All right, folks. Thank you so much. I love you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's show is going to be a wild one. Do not miss it. Stay gold.
Swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hear that? That's the sound of another savvy driver rolling into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No hassle with appointments or dealer wait times. That's one smart bell.
If it's important to you, it's on and probably being mocked by.
This happened. We got to figure this out. Final dispatches, all that good stuff. Coming up in just a moment as we wrap up the show today. C-Lane tells me we have more time to end the show today than we did yesterday.
That's not saying much.
This means we have some time to get to know each other.
All right.
Feel each other out and get to know each other. And I'm going to see if I can slip this in here at the end of the show with the final dispatches, the stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday.
Got a big box there.
That's the new PTZ camera has arrived. Yep. It's all ready to go. Hopefully it's the right one in there. It's going to improve the studio even more. Oh, I'll be excited to see that. Excited. But this is a story about a passenger on a Delta Airlines flight. I'm going to try to shoehorn this in at the end of the show.
Really?
A passenger on a Delta.
So good that we have so much time.
It's a passenger on a Delta.
What a shocker, what a surprise. It's a tap story as long as it flies.
Didn't you have one of these yesterday that you skipped?
This is it.
As you might have guessed, we're back on a plane.
My strategy was to weasel it in at the end, and then I could get around it, but it wasn't really thought out. A passenger on a Delta Airlines flight from Atlanta gave birth to a healthy 5.5-pound girl just before the 737 plane landed at Portland International Airport. Unbelievable. 2 paramedics who happened to be on the flight assisted. They borrowed blankets from other passengers, and they used a shoelace to tie off the umbilical cord.
Okay. What did they do for the placenta?
They ate it. They all ate it on the plane. Baby Brielle Renee Blair came in about 2 weeks ahead of schedule. The plane came in about 20 minutes ahead of schedule. Her mom, Ashley Blair from Tennessee, was flying to Oregon to be with her own mother for the birth, but didn't quite make it. She went into labor about a half hour from Portland on the plane.
I don't think you're supposed to be. The baby was 2 weeks early?
The baby was 2 weeks early.
I think that's within the time that you're not supposed to be flying anymore.
Yeah, I think this is. I think you're right about that. The crazy thing is, it's a rarity, but the passenger list expanded by one person while they were on the flight.
Really?
The flight
manifesto. Do they actually have to file that information with the FAA?
I think they do, yeah. I think they do. The passenger list grows by one person when there's a birth during the flight, and they have to make note of that, I believe, on the plane as they were coming in.
Oh, my gosh, I typed flight manifesto, not manifest.
Oh, that's a whole different thing there. All right, let's get the hell out of here. It's time to wrap things up here. Hope you shared the show today. If you didn't, it's never too late. Send somebody the link of the podcast and tell them about the News Junkie radio show. Appreciate you. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
Today I Learned for a Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. Today I learned this guy right here.
Mr. Rogers.
That's right, Mr. Rogers. He was the one who poured the wax for the 100 billionth Crayola crayon. They wanted to give him the opportunity to do it. They celebrated this back in 1996, the 100 billionth
100
crayon.
billion crayons?
In 96.
My gosh.
I don't even know how many they have now, and they let Mr. Rogers pour the wax for it. And finally, C-Lane convinced me of playing this somehow. Today I learned this band.
Together.
The satirical boy band. Ending the show today. Two people real happy about this. The band Together actually outsold NSYNC for 2 weeks on the music charts. They were a throwback to the boy band approach and actually made it bigger than they anticipated. And Chris Farley's brother was in it too, right?
Yeah, he was the big brother, just like you.
He was. Yeah, how dare you. All right, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place.